Good morning, traders. What's going on out there, traders? Who's ready to end the week right here on Trade the Pool? Ready to get after it, of course. It's been a tough week, but like always, we're going to bounce back. That's what it's all about. And it's been kind of a red week. So on a day like today, instead of trying to take a big swing to come back for the full week, I'm just trying to manage the capital preservation today. Smash the like, guys. Let's get to the action. I'll tell you one thing, though. The swing trade side of things are looking good. Stick around, team. What's going on out there, traders? It's good to see you guys out there. Definitely smash the like if you guys are ready to get into the action today. It looks like it was an interesting night, to say the least. And I don't know if you guys watched the presidential debate, but I personally did not, and did not even want to tune into the conversation there, because I just think it's completely pointless. At the end of the day, for me, in what I see out there, I don't see any other way that Trump isn't the president that comes in, right? The Democrats would need to change something completely up. Biden is out the door. And you guys saw the comments. Yeah, of course, the comments coming in there, and a Democratic advisor put out there saying that Biden's got to leave. He's got to get out now. If he doesn't get out, we're going to get effing crushed. He said, what? We're going to get crushed there, man. And so I think at this case, why do I even need to pay attention to this? The only thing that I need to be looking at is what can I trade from Trump becoming president, right? So that's what I'll be looking at. And of course, what do you see up this morning? Well, you see DJT making that move, right? There's Trump media back up towards the 39.78s. Let's take a look at the action right now and see if this is a trade we can watch. All right, guys. So this morning, we're seeing this kind of come up there towards the 42. It's just undercut the 40. And this is when I get a little bit interested, as I got what, 1, 2, 3, that fourth kind of bottoming in level that I can maybe start to go off of, which is around this 39.40s. Let's see, 39.41 to be exact. So closer towards the 39.50s is what I would like to be. But I can trade this today. This, I think, will be in play, and it will be moving around. Let's continue with the playbook. Of course, none other than the top trades right now have been, of course, on some swing trade side of things. So let's actually change over to the swing trade side of things and show you guys what's going on this morning. We'll talk a little bit about our playbook. We'll talk a little bit about the swings that I have on right now. And of course, we can take a look at the action in the market. Let's go ahead. Let me put up here the positions here so that you guys can see those. Just give me 1 second. They're around here somewhere. There is positions. Boom. All right, guys, there you guys see it this morning, guys. I got 5 positions open on the swing account. AMD, Shop, Affirm, GameStop. We'll talk a little bit about Palantir. Let's get to the action first. Of course, the top swing trades this week, top trades from the playbook that given out every single morning have been what? That's been Tesla. We've talked about that. Look, 200 this morning, guys. Didn't we just talk a little bit about this, looking for this to make that nice move? It's been like an 8% week for Tesla. That's what it's all about, giving you guys the playbook every single morning, because the truth is it's a playbook, right? It's just strategies. You guys got to go execute to get that green, right? So we'll see what happens there on Tesla. Not looking too bad. The next one, Palantir. And I'm glad I didn't shy away from this one, guys, because I tried to get this one on the breakout, wasn't able to grab it on the breakout. Eventually, I went back for the 9 EMA pullback opportunity that I talk about all the time here off the trend line, right? We drew this, updated it on the 27th, kept looking at it. Now it's kind of holding in. Now you start to get back above that 9 EMA. And I'm looking to the left-hand side on this Thursday, 20th of 26.57 as being a potential even for today. And one thing that I can note, though, is if you look back on the weekly, there's nothing like once we start to cross 28, 29 into the 30s. If we can get into the $30 spot, I think Palantir could truly be a monster move. I'm going to actually be holding a piece on Palantir. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try to get above 100 and take half of it off. Then from that point on, I can let a runner go and continue try to expand the win. That's how I really do it in my swing trade account. It's all about bending the equity curve, pulling the down angles on the roller coasters, right? Those down moves, right? The troughs. You want to keep those low. You want to keep them small. And then when you go to expand the wins, that's important for me, because then that helps me when I look at my statistics that my risk to return is like a 4-to-1, a 3-to-1. Then I only need to be 20% accurate, 30% accurate sometimes just to be break even. If I'm at to 40% accurate, well, there you guys see it. I make big gains. And I think that's the important part, is understanding the mathematics in your strategy. We'll see what happens there. Palantir doing really well, and continued partnership conversation this week. Let's keep going with the playbook today. Of course, none other than Roaring Kitty coming out there, guys. And Chewy this morning, definitely going to be in play after yesterday's kind of dog picture came out there. And definitely you saw the stock rocket off of that Chewy. It actually went all the way up there towards a high of 37, then came smacking right back down. So just be careful out there, traders. This is going to move all around, and we're going to have different plays here to take a look at, right? So whether you're looking at this or you're maybe taking a look at the other kind of dog plays, you got Wolf also getting a spike, right? Trying to get to the 375s. Keep your eyes on that. You could take a look at PetZ, right? There's so many of these that could kind of get the lift on this. But I'm already in GameStop, guys. I took a swing trade yesterday on this. And the big part for me was GameStop finally getting out of this kind of hourly sideways period. And the big thing for me now is to look for a close above an hourly high here, right to the left-hand side. So this 25.85, it's going to be vital. If we can make a move towards 27.15, I'm going to be looking really good in this trade. GME right now, I have the stop about like 30, 40 bucks on this. I'll tell you guys right now exactly where I had the stop. I always like to tell you guys and give you guys the insight so that you guys can know exactly where I'm at and understanding of what I'm looking into this trade. Right now, I have the stop towards 24.49, which would be about a $28 loss there. Really, I want to see it hold this 25 and 24.80s area. Towards the open, we could get a little bit of a washout attempt and then a recovery. I'm looking for this really to get back above 26 and 27 and really start to make a boom. But I'll keep this one on the radar. Like always, guys, smash the like. What's going on out there, guys? Good morning to you, Kevin. Boogie Woogie in the house. Amir, Jane, hot spot indeed. Biden looks so old. Nate, tell me something I don't know, man. That guy needs a nap. He needs a long nap. Let's just say that one. Dems need a new candidate. It's kind of too late, Jane. I know they're probably going to end up kicking him out, but it's too late, man. And I think the writing's been on the wall from the very start. No one expected Biden to win again. Come on. Did you really think Biden would win again? Let's be honest. All right, let's keep going, guys. Hard to find anything Nike off course, right? Nike is off course. We'll talk a little bit about that, Noli. That's coming up in the Sunrise Report. You guys smash the like. Let's keep it going. Another play on the retail side of things. And you guys know I was actually looking to this to the upside. Well, now I'm kind of flipping over here, guys. So XRT was one that I was looking to see if maybe it was going to make the move to the upside. Now with Nike coming in here and really kind of shaking things up. Of course, Nike's horrible report. We'll talk a little bit about that. Let's get to the action on Nike as the shares plunge with cutting full year guidance, warning of a 10% sales drop for the current quarter, reporting fourth quarter revenues at 12.6, missing the estimate. Nike's direct revenue also fell 8%. So direct to consumer, right? That's falling too. While Converse revenue dropped 18%. So, of course, Converse is under the Nike belt. That's doing really bad. And so what does this tell me? This tells me that the consumer is truly but slowing down. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that because they're seeing the SPY at all-time highs. They're seeing the Qs at all-time highs, but the consumer is slowing down. So I think this is all things that we need to be focused on towards Q4. because that's when we really kind of see the damage. If they're not buying into holiday time, that could really turn things back to the downside. We'll see what happens there. Of course, Foot Locker taking another major beating off of this, right? The sympathy play. Down big this morning. We'll see if this can continue to go down. But there's other ones that we can watch for continued downside today. So I'll put on the playbook here, Crocs for the downside action back through the 144s. Moves to 146 could be rejections. And then I'd look for that continuation to the downside. You also got Skechers to the downside, right? This looks like a thing that's trying to fill the gap. Look at this gap zone right below, guys. Could this get a little bounce to 70? Yes, so keep that in mind. But after that point, I can see 60 and maybe even lower coming into play. Maybe down here towards a little bit lower towards kind of that 58 level. So Skechers definitely in play and one to kind of keep an eye out. And then a recent IPO, Birkenstock was getting a nice little lift after the IPO, right? Had continued to go and was just slowly climbing, got up there to the 60s, and now has just fallen off a cliff here. And they always say it stair steps up, elevator moves down. And so at this point, I'd look for rejections off of the 56 area, maybe 56.50s to come back down towards the 50s. So that's what I'm looking for in Burke. And we can continue to watch to see what happens on the downturn of these. You got DEC. That's another one that's been a really high flyer. You got on holdings, right? This one could start working its way right back down, right? It looked like it was trying to do a cup and handle. Now it could fail that. And look at the bunch up there. We'll see if it goes through that level and starts coming back towards the 35. There's another gap underneath it here that it could start to come back to fill back down towards the 35. So keep your eyes open for this. I'm also seeing what have we been told in retail? Well, we've been told, at least in travel, that things are really struggling. American Airlines, Love, giving us those outlooks that it's just not looking good there. I got to keep an eye out for what happens, but there's also plays like Macy's back to the downside below 18. This made a nice move in December, had made it like a 60% move from the bottom. Now I could see this kind of breaking down and coming right back down. So we'll look for a cut down back below the 18 for Macy's today as part of the playbook. Let's continue. We've already given a little bit of the sunrise report. But what are we going to be watching today? Of course, 8:30 just happened, guys. Let's talk a little bit about what happened there. I'm going to go ahead and grab the details here for you guys. But of course, what we were looking for to see what happens with PCE. PCE was going to be very important here, guys. So PCE for the index for the year came in at 2.6 versus a 2.6 estimate, prior being 2.7. So slight undercut there on the year. Let's take a look at the month over month reading, because this was going to be the one that a lot of people were going to pay attention to. And you guys can see it here for May at 0.2 versus 0.3, 0.1 prior revised. So definitely you're seeing it out there. Let me get the core PCE here. Core PCE at 0.1 versus a 0.1 estimate, 0.3 being the prior. So still seeing that starting to come down. So that's actually going to not really shake up the market today. It should have. It's going to be a big number, but look, that just gave up and then a down move. So we'll see what happens now with a little bit of a shake. But yesterday, definitely from the close to where we are now, we're already up a pretty good amount. So maybe we're done for the day on the green side of things. Maybe you start to see a little bit of the downside. I'm going to be a little bit concerned. I'll tell you one thing. There's certain stocks that have remained strong in this space. And we talked about it yesterday, and it continued. What is the rotation? The rotation for me is to big tech and other big techs, not NVIDIA. Look at Apple starting to prop to the upside. Look at Amazon starting to prop to the upside, almost 200. We talked about that before this broke the 190, right? We were talking about this on 2 days ago for the move towards 200. It's right there, available to us. And I talked about how if I saw Amazon going, I'd feel confident in my shop swing. And look at shop now. Really starting to get that cup and handle look. I got it off the 9 EMA. 65.23 was my entry. Now we're at 66.99 on the offer. Looking really good there in shop as we're up, close to 2 points on this name. Not looking too bad at all. AMD is one that I'll be watching now, guys. This is one that I'm taking my big swing on and could add to this name on pullbacks to support around the 157. I'm in on AMD at 157.08. So do I want to ruin that 157? by no means necessary, but I'm looking for a move back through 170. That will give me the confidence that, yeah, the timing is right. And we're seeing a turn in AMD, a weekly move back through that 170 and starting to go towards, let's say, 175 would really turn this weekly to looking like it wants to come back to 200. We'll see what happens on AMD. This is one that I do think the potential is a little bit higher, especially because it hasn't done a monster move this year, right? If you look at where we're trading from January, right, we're just slightly up. It's just slightly, about 17% versus that big run that we had in the beginning of the year where AMD was up 64%. So we'll see what happens there on AMD. Definitely one of my top trades right now. You guys see it at the bottom there. Up, what, close to 3 points? Yeah, a little over 3 points. So feeling good there on the AMD swing. All right, let's take a look at GameStop. GameStop will definitely be on the radar today. We'll see what happens with GameStop if this can get moving. Big thing is to look for the 27 break. Let's go to the other one here. Last one there, Affirm, the one that's in the red, the deepest in the red for me. And I'm looking for this to bounce out, right? The idea here is for it to hold here, this gap, not break the gap, and then start working its way right back towards 34. And actually, I'm looking for a break of 36. So the risk to return is what's important here. Right now, it's at 3170s. I need the risk below the 30s, just slightly towards kind of the 28.69 maybe, or the 29 spot. So yes, I am risking about $2.75, but I'm looking for a big breakout to the upside, which could be a 40 move, which is about $9 higher, right? So still kind of 3-to-1 outlook. That's what's the important thing. Keeping the risk to return in mind will keep me in the green and the mathematical advantage. I've been waiting for AMD to move to moon, says Nate Trader. I'll tell you one thing. I'll keep it on the radar. It could very much moon. I mean, right now, there's a reason why I'm taking it. And a lot of that is that undercut and rally strategy, just like we saw in Tesla, where they wash traders out and then they take it. We'll see what happens there. All right, guys, what's up out there? Mara ready to explode. This is one that I'm a little bit of mixed noise on, Nate. I've been taking a look at Mara. I've been positive on Clean Spark. I've made a really good trade multiple times to the upside to that trend line. But I'm also seeing I'm seeing Bitcoin struggle, right? That's the problem here, I think. And I think I'm continuing to watch, because if Bitcoin cracks 60,000 and starts going back to 50, well, I think this really gets wrecked and the trade gets broken. So whichever way, if let's say for the weekend, all of a sudden we boom out to 70,000, 80,000 on Bitcoin, well, this could definitely catch that dip and it's right back up there to 28s and 30s. So I think it's going to really all depend on what happens with Bitcoin, for at least for Mara and the other Bitcoin miner names and miners names overall, right? HUT has been kind of hot lately. This has been the hottest one. If you're looking for one that has the momentum right now, you can see it here. But what can I also see? I can see the slowdown, right? Every time we're getting up here towards this 17 level, we're kind of failing now and not even getting back towards the 20. So just to keep that in mind, we'll see what happens there in HUT. All right, guys, let's keep going, guys. It's good to see you guys all out there. Noli, what up out there? Adding on Snow. This one's an interesting one, man. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. And Snow is getting a nice little lift today. And wouldn't you know it, guys, we just talked about this 2 days ago with the Pan W, looking for Pan W to continue to the upside. That was a mention by Noli. Snow was the one that I mentioned that I can maybe see a turnaround in. And now that's actually holding pretty well. I think the big thing about Snow that most people do not know is their revenue growth. And the growth here is actually not looking too bad. I think Snow could turn things around, even though it's down towards kind of the low. I do think that you're starting to see investors take an opportunity here, as look at the volume that's coming in, right? I always talk to you guys about that volume could show that sign of turn. Look how much volume has been coming into Snow as of late. We'll see what happens there in Snowflake. And we're getting a question about what Roaring Kitty's doing. Is it legal? Is it legal just to put out a picture? Yeah, of course it's legal, man. We don't even know if he has a position in Chewy. But this is the truth about the market. The market is not here to be fair. I'll repeat it. The market is not here to be fair. The market is an unfair system. It's all meant to be what? We trade into the pool, trade the pool, right? Then we see who pulls that money out. It's all about being unfair, not fair. The more that you get this, I think, really engraved in you, that the market's all about trying to one up the other trader or one up the psychology for the trade, right? That's where I really have seen traders turn things to the successful side of things. A lot of the successful traders, they understand that it's not just one strategy that's going to get them to success, but an understanding of the psychology of traders, which really gets them the green in their pocket. Let's keep going, team. Let's take a look at some other trades. We can go ahead and see what else is out there. Did you talk shop yet? Yeah, I did, Kevin, but I'll take a quick look again, right? Shop is doing really well for me. It's starting to hold that 9 EMA. At this point, I'd like to see it hold 9 EMA. So 9 EMA is that light blue line. What am I looking for? I'm just looking for this to kind of continue above that 65.41. Any close below the 9 EMA could get me to the point where I could just take the profits. But right now, the big level for me to watch is just this level right here, the Friday 14, the high off 68.21. If we start to close above that, then this gap close really looks great. So as I get closer towards, let's say, 71s and 72s, that's when I'm going to probably start taking some profits. I'm trying to be a little patient on this one and let it continue to work. So I'll put the green there for the fill. That's where we're looking to fill, guys. We'll see if we can get it up there towards that level and start to work in that gap fill. I could see a nice little breakout first candle. And on that breakout candle, I'll probably sell some. And then as it starts to pull back, look to see if maybe I want to add or just continue with my entry, which is a really good entry. And a lot of times when I look at the entry and I see, I'm like, okay, this is a great entry. This is not just a good entry. I'm not stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle is being a pig and pigs get slaughtered. Let's say if I was in at 66 versus 65, that'd be a whole nother ballgame. Really, the best entries are going to be people that are in the low 64s, right? Because the low 64s, you're near the low of the recent action. That's when I feel like I have that high conviction and can just let the trade work. Because if it comes back to even my level, if I'm in at 64, I know I need to get out, right? The trend is breaking. Right now, I can ride the trend momentum and see what happens. All right, guys, let's get after the action. The market is just a market. Yeah, it's not here to be friendly. It's not here to be unfriendly. It's just a market. It's going to go up, down. And trust me, a lot of it has more to do with psychology than a perfect strategy. Happy Friday, traders. Let's get to the action. Let's keep it going. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Smash the like. So much more to talk about right here this morning. Let me know what stocks on your radar this morning. I'll definitely be trying to catch it in the chat. We'll keep going through the stocks and taking a look at what else is making a move out there. A lot going on in the swing trade side of things. You guys see it, 5 positions on there. And this is the great part of our swing evaluations. If you don't know, we have a great swing trade evaluation now available to you guys. Check it out. Trade the Pool. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's see what else is out there. Let's go switch over to the day trade side of things and see if we can get a little pre-market trade, right? Maybe get a little bit of a cushion before the open here. GME still looking good off that 25. I'm leaving GME alone right now on the day trade side of things because I got the swing trade. So on the day trade side of things, I'll be looking at potentially going for what? For Chewy. The Chewy Dragon right now is at 28.41s. I think we could get a dip to 28 out the gates. And then this might just rocket. But I'll tell you one thing. I want a piece of this right now. Why? Because I can go ahead and get in and do what? Manage my risk on the downside action and look to see if I just get a gap and go. Where like this stock right now is just kind of going sideways, but right out the gates, I'm going to look for like just a quick bar to the upside. That could actually help me if I have a piece. But I have to be smart. It has to be small, and it has to be small enough that I can add if it comes back to that 28 or slightly below that 28. So in this case, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Chewy and set up the trade here. I'll show you guys what I'm seeing here. So right now, right, it's trading back at like 28.50s, and we broke out, right? We broke out from what level? That's important too for me. So I'm going to go ahead and look in here, and let me go ahead and make this as big as I can here for you guys. And so where did we break out from? The low right there being 27.82s. So I do think that you can get a move back into that area. So that'd be a move back into this, right? Then we can use that low here as the ultimate kind of risk, maybe just slightly below that, 27.11. So I have to understand that if I'm getting in here and I'm adding towards 28, I'm probably gonna have to risk about 150 on this if I got about 100 shares or something like that, right? So at this point, what could I do? I could step up to the plate on the offer at 28.40s and then look for this to get back up towards 29 right out the gates. Or I could look for an attempt back towards this level here, the 28.17s, and start my entry there. Doesn't look bad either way, but Money Mitch just wants a little piece today, and wants to get a little piece before the open, because I feel like we're going to get this hard down candle and recovery. But at the same time, it could also just be what? Well, we ain't going to let you get that hard candle, and it just goes up like that right out the gates, right? And so that's what I'm a little bit concerned about, missing the opportunity. And with that being said, even 50 shares, if this starts going, $3, $4, $5 up, if this goes back there towards, let's say 39 on the day, we're talking what, 11 points higher. 50 shares will still make me great money. So that's the thing that I think is important when you're seeing high volatility, is understanding that a smaller share size can give you the ability to stay in the trade and the ability to make the green. Let's keep getting after it, team. What do you guys think about the Chewy idea? Throw up a 1 if you're bullish on Chewy. Throw up a 2 if you're bearish on Chewy. And then also, we can look at other ones, right? Woof, woof, woof. Oh, will this get back there towards 4 today? This is in reach, right? 4 is in reach. Yesterday it went up there to 374. We'll look to see if this can actually make a move. The daily chart has been holding well as it's been turning back around since below $1. So we'll see what happens there in Petco. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Let's take a look at some other action. Yash throwing up the 2. You're bearish on the Chewy? I'm surprised, Yash. Yash, what's going on, man? Why do you like it? Let me know. And what's up with MLGO? As this stock has been the ultimate stock this week, I'll say it because, man, the run has been a monster run, guys, since Friday of last week. We got all the way up there towards a 529% run. It's up about $21 for the whole week on the top end of the things. Now you keep going back to these levels. I think you got to go towards the hourly chart so that you can see the multiple day action. And you can see here how you kind of holding in this trend line, could making a move back here towards kind of these highs here in the $20 spot. We'll see what happens on MLGO. Definitely has been holding in here and have been a big monster. And of course, if you scroll back, you can see here how it kind of got above that 14 and really started to hold. Back through 14 would be an ugly sight. But for right now, it's holding in well, and that's MLGO. You guys out there, smash the like, guys. There's always so much for you guys to take a look at. Like always, guys, bring your A game. We got the rest covered here, guys. Let's take a look at what else is going in the market right now. Ooh, seeing a Chewy pullback here. Chewy. 28.39s here, guys. All right, guys, I'm feeling like I already want to get at least an entry here. I don't want to miss this thing. I know that you're feeling a little bearish out there. Maybe some of you guys are, maybe some of you guys aren't, but I want a little starter here. Let's do it, guys. Let's go ahead. Taking a little starter there in Chewy there, guys. 28.39s, jumping off the offer there. And yeah, I'm jumping a little bit early, but 50 shares, something that I feel I can manage towards the open. We'll see what happens here in Chewy today. Taking a little shot to start the day. All right, guys, smash it up out there. We'll see if I end up in the green today with Chewy or not. Hey, if not, maybe they can send me some flea and tick, because I needed to order some new ones for my dogs out there. So definitely smash the like. Maybe that's how I support them and they go up. ESPR this morning, guys. Let's get to the penny stock side of things, or the small caps. You guys can see this is up there to $3 here, so not looking too bad there. Let's keep it going. Let's see what happens with this one today. The hourly has been up there before, of course. ESPR, I've seen it plenty of times. Look at the daily chart on this thing. It's had multiple times to try to spike above the $3 and hasn't been able to go. There's been about 3 attempts there. So this last attempt will be the last attempt that I'd be looking for the breakout. So at this point, I could look for it, man. This is going to be the one that could give a nice little move today. I feel like it's a nice little setup on the 5-minute, kind of holding in here right off of this 269. We could see this even make the move before the market open. I'd be looking for attempt pullbacks to 260, recovery through 275. We'll see what happens on this ESPR. And this is the therapeutic stock in the healthcare name. We'll see what happens with this one. Maybe Chewy should give stock owners some perks. Yes, they definitely should give some stock owners some perks. Just that announcement would probably do a good move there. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep looking around, guys. COSM. It's another one that was gapping this morning. Was taking a look at the action as I saw multiple spikes into like the 144. But this is also one that came from below $1. And so we got to be careful with these as they have a tendency of getting above $1. And then, of course, we know it. They get knocked down right back below $1. So we'll see what happens with this one. A lot of resistance in the 150s, next layer $2. So that's kind of like the top outlook that I could see right now. It's nothing that I'll be probably trading. It just doesn't look that sexy to me. But hey, that's COSM. You guys let me know. CORM, another one here. Charisma Therapeutics. So there's one thing that we're seeing, right? It's multiple therapeutic stocks showing up. That tells me something. That tells me that maybe those are an industry trend that I'm seeing and something that I got to pay attention to. For right now, this is pulling back here. You've had about 1, 2, 3. Watch this 4th attempt to see if we actually break through this. If we wick down through it, it doesn't look too bad, but this could just reverse right back up towards the $2. We'll see what happens on this one. Has a high in the pre-market after hours, right? Thursday, 445, it had a 250 spike. So we'll see what happens with this one. PARM. You guys out there on Twitter, out right now on YouTube, what's your top play? Do you have a swing trade on right now? Let me know. I always like to see the swing trade side of things, but hey, maybe it's a penny name. Maybe it's a big boy name that you're watching. Let me know in the chat. It's always good to see you guys. I want to go ahead and see some stocks from you guys. It's not all Money Mitch, right? Let me know. What are you guys taking a trade on? All right, guys, let's look around. Let's see what else is going towards the bell here. Valero was one that got me a stop out yesterday, guys. I was looking good in this. And look at the pre-market. It's right back to where I was buying it, guys. I was slightly below 154. Towards 154.40s, eventually getting cut out on this towards the end of the day. It didn't pop. I got out like at 153.80s. So took a hit on this, but I'm noticing a trend in oil as it starts to go higher. And you guys know how I am. I always try to focus on trends and industries and things like that because the truth is that's where we can find some edge. So now I need to watch to see what happens in crude overall, right? So I like to focus on WTI, guys. You guys can take a look at WTI. I'll go ahead and I'll just pull this up just to give you guys a chart. I don't have a more active chart. I could pull it up on a different broker, but I don't feel like opening it up right now. But let's take a look here, right? Because it doesn't, I don't need to be in the most like kind of the latest data to just kind of take a look at what's happened, right? So of course, in 2023, towards the end, in September, we were up there towards 90. And look where this actually started to take off from. I love this chart because it's showing the year. And where's the year? The year is right around this time, right? And what did we get last year? Towards the end of summer, around June, right? Right around here, right around the 29th, we started to see a real spike happen in energy. And it ended up going all the way up there towards the 90. Now we've had that kind of decline right before this into June, early June. And now we've already started to rise. We're up there towards the 80. If we start to take their 82s, 85s, I could see these oil stocks turning the ship right back to the upside. And so XOM, you see it already leading. This one usually leads and come fast. Chevron will be one to watch for me. Phillips 66. There's so many on here that you guys can take a look at. What about MPC? Marathon Petroleum Corp, right? This is also one that I'll keep a watch on. Halliburton, right? Or the Slumberger or Slumberger, whichever way you want to call it, the Slumberger. We'll see what happens with this one. Can it start to make its way right back up there towards the 57? Oil names, definitely something that I'd be paying attention to. And I think in play, we'll see what happens on that. All right, guys, let's keep going. I'm watching Lucy. Lucy, I'm home. All right, we'll see what happens on Lucy. That has pulled back to the 50-cent spot. The problem with Lucy here, guys, is that the volume just died, right? So to get it up to $1, you were having this float rotated so much. What's the float in Lucy? I need to take a look. Boogie Woogie, you let me know. What's the float in Lucy? Take a look at that, because look how much this float rotated. This traded 948 million, 875 million, but it's only trading 26 million now. That's one thing to note, right? Because if it took that much volume to get it towards that level, it's going to take a good amount of volume to actually get it past that $1 again. I'd keep this one on the radar, but I need to see more volume. I need to see more action. That's really the concern that sometimes will catch you, right? Liquidity is such a concern to keep in mind. We'll see what happens there in Lucy. Lucy, I'm home. Oh, man, that was a good show. I don't think even the young kids know even about I Love Lucy. But hey, Tesla looking super hyped today. It was looking perfect this week, man. Did you catch us earlier this week when we were talking about it at the 9 EMA? Now it's pretty high. Now you got above these highs, right? Now we're going to go ahead and take off this level. This is an important one where you're hitting today. Today's level tells me that I could look for a pullback to the green line, which is that 189 for pullback entries. Like if I want to get a pullback entry, it has to be closer towards 190. I'm not jumping in here because that's how a lot of times you'll get Tesla to do a little bit of a pullback action. So that the levels to watch were really, especially on like Thursday. Thursday was down back towards 181, giving you that ability to risk off of Friday's action, which was the 177. And now you're really getting going. And like I've talked about it, what am I looking for in Tesla? I'm going to put this up again. Tesla is set to launch robo-taxis on August 8th, team. This is the reason why I think you're really starting to see Tesla lift off the bottom, because the smart investors, the deeper investors, the big boys, right? What would they want to do? They'd want to get in early before this major event, because if they get in closer to that event, they'll cause the stock to kind of rise, or they'll just be kind of smacking it, right? So right now, I think they're trying to build that under supply and then really get this bad boy going. And then what would they do? They'd sell into you looking into that event. And that's how it goes a lot of the times. What do they call this? And you hear this thousands of times. Buy the rumor, sell the news, guys. That's what I'm seeing right here in Tesla. All right, let's keep going, teams. There's a lot of action today. Like always, guys, if you guys haven't checked out Trade the Pool already, let me know how you guys are doing. Who's going to be the funded trader hanging out with us daily? I know there's going to be one of you guys out there. Future day trader, is that going to be you? We'll see what happens, man. I'm old enough to remember I Love Lucy. That was a good show, man. It really was. All right, less trades equals more money. Keep that in mind. And future day trade billionaire, I love that comment there, because the truth is, at the end of the day, we can't trade everything under the sun. We trade everything under the sun, and we're just opening ourselves up to what? More risk. More trades usually means more risk, right? Because you get more risk exposure. And that's all it needed. If you expose yourself to risk, well, yeah, you expose yourself to reward, but you got to know how much that exposure is, and is it benefiting you or hurting you if you're taking too many trades? All right, the crappy list today for me is DJT, Snow, Roblox, Nike. Yeah, those are going to be definitely ones to watch. One that could trade to the downside that I'll be watching is On Holdings. There's a nice little gap down below. This is one that's going to be on the radar for a continued downside action. The low here, 37.55. That's a level that I definitely watch. You start cutting through there, and boom, you could keep going lower. We'll see what happens there on. And the shoes with holes in them, Crocs. Who likes Crocs? Let me know in the chat. I'll tell you right now, I'm never wearing a pair of Crocs, even if you buy them for me. But hey, I'm not the one buying the shoes with holes in them. You guys let me know. What do you guys think about the Crocs? Is this the time that Crocs finally breaks down, or will Crocs just continue to disrupt in footwears and accessories. We'll see what happens out there. All right, let's keep going, team. There's a lot going on. Let's go to the penny names, see if there's any other one that's catching my attention right now. I've talked about ESPR. Oh, INFN. This is the good one here. Let's take a look at this one. INFN, right? This is an interesting one. Daily chart is actually good because daily chart is not just a big boom and bust, right? It's a lot of collection of volume, collection, now get going. I love trades like this. This actually tells me that, yeah, this has been building and now making the move. Pullbacks to 572 makes sense on the daily. Let's go to the hourly. You can see how this broke above that and now starting to pull back. 9 EMA right around here. Pre-market after hours high at 674. So let's see what happens if we can get back to the 674. We've had a couple of downturns, so I'd pay attention to that. We've had about 1, 2, 3, maybe we get one more before we get the lift, but definitely one that I'd keep on the radar. You can see how it's trying to bottom in right now. There's definitely some volume starting to try to step up here. Just going to see if we can get it back through 650s today. That's definitely going to be a level to kind of keep an eye out for. And then, of course, quick dips right back below 6, closer towards the 580s would be a level that I'd be watching for some dip buys. We'll see what happens here on IFN. And look at that move already, trying to get to the 630s. This one doesn't look too bad here to maybe take a little bit of a trade right before the market opens. But that's just something that I've been trying a little bit more of, guys. What do you guys think? Throw a 1 if you guys think the INFN is looking great. Throw a 2 if you're not a fan. All right, guys, let's get after it, guys. What else is out there? All right, review your trades every day, traders. 10 trades yesterday, easily 4,500, but took 34 and made a few $100s after losing so much on Wednesday. Yes, I'm telling you, man. The key to me is having high quality. If I can look back and say I was taking high quality setups, I can give myself the pat on the back. Where I get upset is where I look back and I see I took too many trades in low quality setups. This is a big thing to do. And if you're not doing your journaling, you're probably doing it wrong. Of course, don't forget with the eValves and not the mini, but the bigger ones, you guys can be getting those partnerships. And one of them is TraderView. TraderView is really awesome, guys. Really great way to take the journal to the next layer, the next level. And for any reason, if you don't want to use a paid, or maybe you don't have the eValves, one tool that I can give you guys that you can use to take journal that I used to really use all the time was Evernote. I'll give you guys that as a tip for some other traders if you want to use that. Hey, you know Money Mitch. He knows all the tools out there. I've done the research. You got to be resourceful as a trader. So I'm always going to give you guys some added bonus. Smash the like for that. All right, let's keep going, guys. INFN pulling back there to the 624s levels. Now we'll see if it takes that 630s, 650s. This is where we could see a trader kind of step up here. And what am I seeing on the level 2? We've talked about this. I'm going to continue try to show you guys this so you guys can learn a little bit more about this. So you guys see right here, this is where the buyers are trying to put up a little bit of a wall here. 617, 616. Where is the upside wall? 648. So that's what I'm talking about, that 650 being important. So in between there, I'm going to be looking to see what happens. Maybe we get a dip back through that 615. And then those traders get filled, and then it swings up towards that 650. So keeping that in mind is something that I'd be looking for. We'll see what happens today. All right, let's keep it going, team. We've got to go ahead and keep trading, baby. See what happens today. A lot on the radar. Plug going up now on my scanners, and Plug is, of course, a hydrogen play. This one has a tendency of moving with FSIL, but definitely a company that I see going away. Man, I don't know how Plug has stayed around. Do you guys remember when Plug was up at 70? I don't know how this company has stuck around here. We'll see if this actually can make a move. FSIL is another one you can look at to see if Plug really moves. FSIL has a tendency of following it, but it's always important to know your relationships. I like Edge Wonk for journal. Okay, that's not a bad one. I haven't checked that one out, Noli. I'll have to take a look. Adding on TRV and Moderna. Not bad ones to keep an eye out for. We've talked about on TRV, that Travelers. Yeah, the Travelers company. This looks like a nice one for a short, right? It's already filled the gap, though. That's one thing to note. This did do a nice little gap fill, so that could give you a little bit of a bounce. You see the 200 exponential moving average. It's right on it. It didn't fill the gap completely. I think there's still room for a gap. So yeah, there's still room to like the 200. So this one looks interesting here. Maybe a 201 break towards the 200. I'd be looking for maybe bounces on the hourly to hit resistance. So you see here how it's gone in the past, this 207. I'd be looking for that 207 push, maybe a push back here towards 206.60, and then the fade out. That's what I always look for, guys. I'm always trying to, let's say, long into the weakness or short into the strength bounce back. Some people like to go for the breakouts. I like to look for the down spots so that I can get closer to the support on longs and risk underneath support. And same thing for short. I'm looking for a pop towards resistance so I can get short on that resistance and risk above that resistance. That's the way I like to come after it. Missed a perfect short on burritos yesterday. Yeah, burritos got crushed, man. Chipotle Mexican Grill, the guac was not there yesterday, and the guac has not been there for Chipotle since it did its split. Will this be the best move for Chipotle, or will it be a bad move? That's one thing to keep in mind. We'll see what happens. Weekly support coming now into play a little bit, closer towards the 62. So we'll look to see if 62 bounces today and it just starts to work its way back. I don't think Chipotle is just completely ruined, because at the end of the day, they do have good earnings. They can come back. This could just be a little bit of a shakeout, and then all of a sudden you get a big day back to 66 and 67. So I know that some traders are probably looking this on the downside. That's fine. By all means, back down below the 62, continuing towards, let's say, 61 or 60. That could be the downside continuation. But for any reason, it gets a pop through 63, back to 64. For me, I'm not fighting this. I'm actually looking for maybe a little bit of some Chipotle burrito to the upside. Give me some salad dressing. Get me back to that 63. I need some acidity in my life. And if you guys don't know, that is the hidden secret for Chipotle. So you guys get value all around here. Get that salad dressing. Put a little bit on that. Put a little acidity on that burrito. You might like it. All right, let's keep going, team. What else is out there? Get those burritos, future day trader. We'll see what happens out there today. A lot of you guys joining on Twitter and YouTube. Smash the like. Hit the like buttons, guys. It's really great if you guys could do one thing for me, Money Mitch, that's working hard for you guys every single day. Just hit the retweet. Let everybody know about this stream. Give them the opportunity to get to trade the pool, as we want to give everybody the chance to find success in their trading careers. Let's keep going, guys. What else is out there? Key levels on Tesla and NVIDIA. Talked about it. Tesla, for me, pullbacks to the green line, 190. Why? Because it's called the neckline, right? And the neckline can give you a throwback look. Now that you're above the 200 exponential moving average, now I'd be looking for pullbacks to the 9 EMA. 9 EMA is right now off the 190.15. So around that level, I'm looking for pullbacks. NVIDIA, for me, it's all about, does it recover 125? Yesterday, it rejected it multiple times. And I was even looking here as it kept going towards 126, reject. So move back down through this 118, and NVIDIA can keep giving up. And for me, I don't see NVIDIA back at 140. I don't. I think that you're going to see continued rotation going towards other tech names, which will keep the Qs higher and let NVIDIA do a pullback. So where can NVIDIA pull back to? I'd be looking at RSI. A big part to me is looking at RSI, and you can see how it went down here towards the low, but it hasn't come down towards oversold in a long time. That's back down towards 16 on the RSI. And on the upside of things, we've hit it plenty of times here on the upside, which is around the 89 to the upside. So now I'd be watching. This is right in the middle. So I need to start seeing this lead to a direction and start to show the break. We'll see what happens on NVIDIA. Back below kind of 124s. Could be a little bit of a washout today. We'll see what happens there. Chewy starting to turn a little bit there, already to 28.48s, guys. So at least I got an entry at 28.39s. A big part of this for me is just to have one piece looking for the open. I'll be paying attention to this, of course, right out the gates. All right, guys, smash the like, guys. There's a lot to go out there. 5,000 subscribers. Congratulations. Let's go, guys. Somebody sound that horn, baby. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Hit that horn, guys. We're hitting the 5,000 subscribers. And, of course, we're just on our ways, guys. My idea is that we're going to be at what? We're going to go to 15,000 before the end of the year. You guys do us a favor, hit the share button down below. Let everybody know this is a community that truly supports you guys, gives you guys value in the morning. We do our pre-market watch list. We get after it here. And like always, we're going to keep trying to give you guys the value so that you guys are not only seeing some live trading action, but also in the know. Get some edge right here on Trade the Pool. All right, guys, let's keep going. What else is out there? What else is trading? Let's go to it, man. Let's get to the volume side of things. Let me take a look a little bit into some of my scanners here. Let's go to unusual volume channel and see what we're seeing here on the unusual volume. What's showing up here that maybe we've traded in the past that could get a move. Interesting one in Dollar Tree showing up a little bit. Some volume here. Now, one thing I want to state there is Dollar Tree is a little bit of a different chart than what I've seen out there. So maybe Dollar Tree is bottoming here. And you're seeing some other discount stores start to top. Look at Costco. Look at this thing, man. This thing has gotten up there to 870. It's been a monster run from that 750. And it's been a monster run since that kind of 600 before this. Costco's been an absolute monster. We'll look to see what happens with this one. This one needs to do a split. Costco needs a split. They need to do a split. 10-1, announce it. You'll probably rock it, man. I'll see what happens in Costco, but I'm looking to see if this turns around because Walmart's very similar chart, right? Big runs, continuing to hold the 90 EMA. But one thing is for certain, if you break this channel, you could start coming down, right? So you're in what's called a channel where it just keeps going higher and kind of hitting the top and bottom. Some traders even played in between this and trying to play the move, let's say back to 70 now. We'll see what happens there on Walmart and some other names. TJX, so many retail names at the top trying to make big breakouts. Do we start to see the turnaround in some of these retail names like Ross and others like TJX? There's so many of these that have been hot. What about ANF? Is this going to come down? AEO? There's so many out there. And of course, you guys know one of my top plays today, looking for Macy's to cut down back through the 18s. We'll see what happens. All right, DLMAF. What the heck is that? Dollarama. I've never even heard of Dollarama. I've never even been to a Dollarama. What the hell is a Dollarama? Am I just weird or something, guys? Let me know in the chat. Nolan, what am I doing, man? How can I have never heard of Dollarama? This stock is through the moon, man. I only got Dollar Generals that have Dollar Trees. I'm going to have to look for a Dollarama. I'm in Florida, but who knows, man? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe Dollarama's all around. It's Canadian. Oh, that's what it is, man. It's all Canada. Canada dollar store. Why do they call in Canada a dollar store? Isn't Canadian like different? Like, I don't understand this, guys. You guys tell me what goes on. But it's a much better dollar store. But it's in Canada, right? Like, do you really call it a dollar? I don't know, man. Let's keep going, guys. As popular as Walmart. Holy moly, man. Who would have known? Hey, Nolan, you're teaching me something today. Thank you, my friend. Way to educate me. That's what it's all about, man. As traders, you're not going to know it all. And this is one that definitely caught me by surprise today. Thank you for bringing it, Nolan. I haven't seen you in the chat much, but definitely something to take a look at it. All right. Let's see what else is out there, guys, this morning mentioned out there. Let's see. I've seen one that is showing up there. Clear Mind Medicine. I think we've seen this one move a couple of times now. Daily chart now getting a little bit of a lift and a lot of resistance right above here towards the $2 spot. So there's some resistance in the $2. You're definitely trying to shake a little bit and get back up through this high. 171 going to be some resistance today. Let's see if we can get through there. Cup and handle pattern forming right now, starting to push We'll see if that can get back through the 175 and keep going. All right, Nate, you're Canadian. Let's go Canada. You guys probably hated my Go Panthers then as the Oilers. Oh, they just gave it up, man. We'll see what happens out there. If you pass the challenge, is it a live account or paper? Well, Bullseye, you get there, you let me know. But yeah, you could have the live account, you could have paper. Really, at the end of the day, it seems to be dependent on the risk side of things. This is a whole department towards that. Don't worry, Money Mitch is not a part of the risk department. Is probably part of seeing that risk, right? But hey, that's just me. Let's get after it, guys. It all depends, man. It really, you have to look into it. It's going to be dependent on you, on the risk side of things, but definitely take a look into the action. VRNR, Edmonton, Pop shut this place down. Oh, I'm sure, man. They were ready for it. They were ready to see some kind of riots, or on the other side, if they would have won, oh man, in Canada, they would have been having fires in the streets, man. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Really money until you get funded. Yeah. Hey, get funded, my friend. Get funded. We'll check it out. You can let me know, Bullseye. I know you've been trying to take some shots. I know you've been doing great, man. I wish you the best like always, man. I'm never going to view it. I want to see you have success. Keep getting after it, man. Any way that you can get to it. All right, INFN. One to kind of keep an eye on today, right, guys? This has tried to make the move into the 630s multiple times. We'll see if it takes that lift off right out the gates. There's a lot of action to take a look at today. I'm going to send an alert at 6:30 to let me know when it starts to pop through it. You guys in the chat, let me know, guys. Adobe, one to kind of keep a watch right now. It's getting a little lift there. This is one of the best names, I think, in AI overall, guys. I'm still a little upset because I started talking about Adobe right here, guys, when it started to move out of the 350 range. And man, this is one that I'm always going to look back on and be a little upset that I don't have this in the long-term account. Adobe is going to be one of the top names in anything that has to do with art and things like that. And what have we seen? This is the round of generative art. So in the case, does Adobe have AI features that are actually bringing bottom line? Yes. And Adobe looks to be really strong here. I'd be looking for pullbacks, of course. I don't like to just jump on the highs, but it's really hot right now. And I think it's definitely a name that could have another lift and keep pushing. AI is strong in Adobe. Viking Holdings. And if you guys don't believe it, I can take a look at Firefly and show you guys. If you guys haven't checked out Firefly, Adobe has it for free just to show you how powerful that is, better than even some of the other ones. Even like Dolly, that is one of the top ones. It's really comparable. I really would say it's comparable. I've used both, so check it out, team. Viking Holdings, leisure name. VIK, trying to get up there. Of course, this is a cruise line, right? It might be right on Viking Holdings being a cruise line. I don't know too much about Viking. I need to look into this company a little bit. But it is propping right here. You can see the highs, multiple highs in the 33s, trying to make that next layer towards the upside. Of course, earlier this week, one of our top trades was on Carnival and NCLH. That was really one of my top trades of the week. I still made a great gain on this one, but could have made a bigger one if I played it a little bit bigger. That's all it was. I went 50 shares deep, and I was looking to add 50 shares, and I just didn't get it on the ad. But Carnival really up there towards 1871s. Let's take a look at RCL. RCL to 161 here. So not looking too bad here. All right, guys, right out the gates here. I need to go focus on Chewy now, guys. Let me go focus on Chewy and looking for ads on pullbacks here for Chewy. Chewy's going to be my first focus. Then I'll look elsewhere, guys. If you guys see anything moving and you guys have anything on the radar, let me know, team. Today is going to be a fun time. Let's get after it. All right, guys, towards 2750s. Remember this box right here. I need to be smart. This box, it can pull back into and then come right back out of it. I'm just looking to see what happens here on Chewy. All right, guys, so where's the volume coming in here? 2750s. That's where someone is putting out a nice little order. Let's see if it gets to that 2750. I'm still not adding. I'm still just holding off my 2839. Yeah, I'm down a little bit. I'll show you guys it 100%. Let's see what happens here. If this starts to turn around, big thing for me is wicks at the downside. going red to green back up through the 2850s is an important level to watch for. All right, guys, let's go after it, guys. What else is out there? Let's take a look. All right, what else is out? Nike, what's up with Nike? Let me go ahead and get some different charts up here. All right, looking around, trying to pick some other trades here, looking at some of the other names that we have on the radar. Mara straight down out the gate, so that's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on. I am seeing Mara take a big hit there. We'll keep watch to see what happens. INFN, giving me a little bit of an alert. INFN, guys, back towards 630s. That's trying to prop through that 630 spot. It doesn't look bad right now, that INFN. I'd have to risk off the 620s, but we'll see if it starts to make a move. INFN, not a bad one here. I wouldn't mind taking about 100 shares just to see if it goes right here. And then we'll see if it pulls back to the 620s, 615s. You know what? I need to focus on Chewy, but I don't mind taking a trade right here and just doing kind of a really systematic trade. So I just got in a little bit there. I'm going to risk down here towards 612. I'm really just looking for a quick little breakout here. We'll see what happens on that one. Risking about 17 on it right now. Nothing that I need to focus on, just something as a starter. All right, guys, Chewy pulling back into that spot. XPOF also giving me an alert, guys. That's Exponential Fitness getting a little bit of a push now towards 1590s, and that has been hot. So with that being mentioned, maybe Planet Fitness that had a good mention on, of course, earlier in the week, had a ratings upgrade. Maybe this one gets going today. Look at the 9 EMA. It's actually looking pretty decent for a 75 push. Doesn't look too bad right now. It's right on the VWAP. We'll look to see if that gets going. Chewy. Let's get back to the Chewy. All right, guys, I'm starting to see some volume really stack up here. 625s and oh, that's on INFN. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me switch over here. There's so much going on, guys. I got to switch over to my other platform here. Let's go ahead. Let's see here. Chewy. Where's the volume, guys? I see 2737, so there's not much just yet, guys. Not many traders taking this too big yet, so I'm watching it right here, see if it starts to work its way back, and then I can risk off the bottom action. But for right now, no ads just yet. Just looking for it to start working its way back. All right, 2770s. Let's keep going, team. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, guys. A lot more for you guys today. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can come up with and trade today. All right, there we go. Back to 2780s here. I'm still looking for Chewy. So let's see if this can really start to work its way back. 2850s is really important for me. Once it gets up to that 2850s, I'll look for pullbacks at 28 to add. And I got to be patient on this one today. Patience is what pays sometimes. We'll see what happens. Like I talked about, the pullback into this spot could happen here. And then seeing that rebound into that area around the 2750s is an important level for it to hold. But could go down there towards the next layer, which is 27. And then I'd look for the comeback for sure. We'll see what happens here if we start to get back above 29s and really push on Chewy. With that being mentioned, GameStop, right? GameStop, nice little push out the gates here and a pullback, guys. I'm actually in on this, right? I've talked about it. I do want to hold here towards like around the 2480s, 2470s. Looking for this to kind of break back towards the 25s. We'll see what happens there on GameStop. All right, going back to it, INFN, kind of hanging in on that 625, still hasn't taken that 630s. What else is moving here? Let's go ahead. Let's pull up some of the other scanners. AMT, American Tower, giving me a little bit of an alert. That's actually one that I'll keep a watch on. Lucy showing up. There you go. There you go. Boogie Woogie. Got that, Lucy. We'll see. It's up there to the 63s, almost the 70 spot there. So that's at least getting going from the first little action out the gates. All right, back to Chewy. Let's take a look here, see if the volume can start to hold here. I don't mind this. I want to add, but I need to start seeing some volume start to step up here. All right, there's some volume off 2740s. There's about 1,000 shares at 2750s. Now 4,800 on 2757s. So let's see if he gets hit a little bit there. Boom, just got hit a little bit there. There's some adding going on now off this 2750s. Definitely seeing some traders step up here. Let's see if this can really get back through and start going through the 28. All right, guys, seeing this start to bottom out a little bit, looking to see if this starts to turn around. And this is going to be one that I got to be able to position up and do it right. So it's going to keep focused on it. Let's get after it, team. 5 minutes, let's see if it double bottoms off 27.38 first, and then looking for it to come back. So double bottom off of that level and then see it come back. That's what I'm going to look for. It can even wick here and then just start roaring back. So that's what I'm going to look at. Let's see if it breaks at 27.39s. There's a double touch right there. Now starting to work back and could start to go right back to VWAP. So we'll see what happens here. Definitely seeing some volume start to come in and Chewy, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, guys? What are you guys seeing out the gates? I like on if it breaks pre-market lows. Yeah, there's a lot on there. 6 flags is actually not doing bad either. That's one that's on my radar. On starting to go to the 38.50s. Doesn't look too bad there eventually to kind of get that downturn. Mara coming back here towards the 1985s. We'll look to see if that keeps going. Nike with a little bounce, and then it gets hit here. Skechers is actually up out the gates. This is kind of the short that I'd be looking at just because I don't feel that Skechers is going to make its way all the way back, but it could come back to 71 or 70 and then get the cut down. So that's something that I'm paying attention to on Skechers. There's Chewy with a takedown attempt towards the 27. This is when it could get on a down halt here, but I can go ahead and kind of add here and then have a little bit of a risk here. So I'm looking at this to start bottoming out here and then start working its way back. We talked about the 27 being a level that it could get to. Now we're at that level. Now I just need to start seeing it come back and I can get my ad, and then I have to have a set risk at about $150 to $200. We'll see what happens here on Chewy if it can find some buyers at the 27. 27.11 recovery going to be important here. Next layer down from there, you got to be careful. Daily chart has it right here on the 90 EMA. Below that can start to crack, and then you get that big crack. So 26.75 is really kind of a layer that I'd be looking for it to hold, and you hit that right on the nail. And now let's start seeing if Chewy makes a little bit of a comeback. All right, guys, so looking right now off the 26.90s, I kind of like it there. Now we're getting a little bit of a push there. Could get into the 80s and the 70s. I could try to add at 70s or 26.70s or 26.80s. I'm looking to see it get back above 27s, and then I'll look for right below 27 to add. So there's that inverse hammer candle. That's kind of what I want to start seeing. Now start working its way back to like 27.37s, and then I look for ads on the low 27s. GovX already, man. You're just bullseye. You're just all over the place, man. You're gonna have to come trade over here, man. I'm gonna have to see that live. GovX there towards the 430s, 450s, not looking too bad there. GeoVax Labs with a nice little push there to the 430s. How's MLGO? Pushing there towards the 1850s, came back to the 1750s. We'll look to see how this one works on the day. INFN still hasn't made that move into the 630s, but it's just hanging out here in the 625s. We'll look to see if it actually wants to make a move. All right, back to Chewy action. There's some bottoming action there. Coming back here towards the 27.11s, but finding some resistance. It's still trying to hit there, the 70s, still kind of balancing out. That's why I haven't added, guys. I'm just letting the trade work for right now. All right, guys, let's see what else is out there. Green is good, always good. What about Walgreens Boots Alliance? Man, that got smacked yesterday. It's bouncing back today a little bit. INFN, let's go ahead back towards that one. Not doing too much there on INFN. So I might just cut this as it just isn't doing much. Still looking like it's propping here. It doesn't look too bad there, but there's a lot of volume and wall at like the 630s and 626 level. So that's the problem here. There's a lot of volume on the plus side. And then 620s has a big volume for pullback fills. So it could come easily back to that 620. All right, we'll see if it starts to make the move above the 630s. But for right now, not much action on that one. I'm going to actually tighten down right below it towards 617s. It's about smallest risk. I'm just giving it the chance to move or not, just because it's so sleepy. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back to Chewy. Chewy is going to be the important one for me today, just continuing to watch it. Still balancing around this 26.65. Just looking for the move back towards 27.50s to really start to work in and then start to add into this position. All right, what are you guys taking a look at? It looks like over 71 of you guys out there tuning in. The market's open, guys. What do you guys like? AMD says great scoop. Let's go take a look at AMD. Now 162.63. Let's go on the swing trade side of things. Looking good, baby. Looking good, guys. Look at this, guys. What a move there. AMD almost up $100. I'm looking for a nice little move there to take some off there. Another boom through 163, 164. I'll be taking some profits. Doesn't look too bad at all. Shop also with a nice little up move here. Affirm is the downside action right now. I will be looking to add on Affirm, but closer towards the 30s. Going to continue to battle with that one. We'll see what happens there. And GameStop looking decent here. 65.33s holding in here. We'll see if GameStop can take that next step up. This is one that I'm really keeping an eye on, and I wanted to hold 25 now. So at this point, I could add and risk right off that 25. I don't mind it here. Just need to see one more attempt coming towards this 25.50s and really starting to break out. You can see here how we're kind of in this little symmetrical triangle this morning on the 1 minute. So you could see another attempt down here towards the 25.06. Really just looking for the breakout above the 25.50s here. All right, there's a little bit there. Let's take a little bit here and just take a little shot here in GME on the swing trade side of things. On pullbacks to the 25 spot. That's what I'll add and look to go ahead and hold off that 25 spot. Ads out there for the pullback ad. Let's see if I get the pullback ad. Just looking for a slight dip here back below the 25.25s. There it is. It just hit there, guys. Now you guys see it right here. 55 shares, 25.29. And now I can just hold here right below the 25s. I can actually go a little lower towards the 24.88s, giving myself a little bit of room. I'm going to risk 25 bucks on this. 24.83s already set. Set it and forget it and look around, guys. Look at AMD go. Look at AMD go, team. That's what we're talking about here, team. On the swing side of things, taking and walking that money bag with me today. Let's get this profit here. Let's take a little bit off here. 74s, 75s showing up there. That's looking great here. Let me go ahead and sell 10 shares and just pay myself on a great trade here. Boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about, team. Not bad at all from 157 to 163. How many points is that? That's 6 points on the upside. That's what I'm talking about. Not a bad trade at all on AMD. And you guys know, I've been looking at this one, talking about this one yesterday. Twitter put it out also. AMD with a beautiful move there to start the day. AMD really starting to get going. Doesn't look too bad at all. We'll see if this continues to push. Not a bad move, AMD, man. Let's go. AMD was nice. Let's get it, Scott. Let's get it, Scott. Now it shook all that downside. Now I'm really looking good. 165, 166, next layer. And now I can just really let this work, guys. 10 shares. 10 shares just paid me a good 50 bucks. Not bad for the swing trade side of things, and can start stepping up bigger. But one of the things you're seeing here is at 5 positions, I only have so much buying power, right? So I need to separate it out and take multiple trades. But when I have 3 trades in the green and only 2 in the red, that does make me feel pretty good and confident about continuing to ride the winners and cutting the losers. So understanding that on Affirm, maybe I lose 60 bucks. GameStop, it's about 25. There's still enough profits there to keep me in the green. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look around elsewhere. LPSN giving a little bit of a spike, and this one loves to be a little bit of that pop and dump kind of stock. So could get a pop towards $1 today. It is lifting up there to 71. We'll see what happens on that one. Chewy, getting back to Chewy. I'm getting washed out there on Chewy right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and look to the ad on the day trade side of things here. But, man, Chewy is trying to wreck me today, guys. I'm down about 109. I can risk about 150 on it, right? So I'm just looking for the comeback, and it's been on the pullback. RSI is now starting to get extreme here. Let's go to the 5-minute. And I always looked for the RSI to give me some sign to maybe start seeing the turn. Here is where it starts to kind of start to really bottom around the 11 on the RSI. We're down towards 8, 9. So this is where I'll go ahead and take my shot here, guys. I'm going to look for an ad on this, and then from that point, understand where my risk is. So 50 shares here. around the 42 level. I'll do 38 here just for a little bit more pullback ability. Looking to add some here at the 28s, 38s. Then I'll start to see where I'm at and really start focusing on the risk to return here. An important part for this is that, of course, move back through 31. There's going to be some big levels here to watch on Chewy today. All right, 945 bottoming action there. That's actually pretty good. A lot of times I look for the 945 turn. So there's the 945. Now let's start to see what happens in the overall market. Qs are ripping to the upside. That's what's helping the AMD trade for sure. And then let's see how the big boys are doing. Apple on the pullback. That actually looks interesting for me. Google on the pullback here. Amazon on the pullback. See what happens there. Tesla now to 202. Nice move there in Tesla. INFN not doing much, just staying around there and really not doing anything here. INFN, I'm probably just going to cut it. It's not much going on there. I mean, I could just add to it, but there's just not much there. So I'm tightening down towards 18. I think it'll just cut me out in a second here, guys. But just want to let you guys know. Can't lose too much on that, right? Chewy there, still no fill. Starting to come back. So I'm looking for pullback fills now to make kind of a double or triple bottom towards this 26, 27. We'll see if it starts to work back. VWAP is right above it towards 27.10, and it could start to reverse. We'll see what happens there. How's the volume starting to step up here? Volume started to step up through that 26.65. So definitely starting to see some volume come in. INFN has 20,000 shares off of 622 and then 23,000 on the 625. It's such a mixed noise in that one today. All right, looking around, what else is out there? CMG moving back. I thought that thing would do that little fake out, guys, and just come right back up. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. Nice little VWAP bounce right back to the upside. Looking pretty good there on that Chipotle. Get those burritos ready, you guys. The guac is looking better today. 62.50 on pullback. Looks interesting for me now. 62.50s. I'll look to see if I get it back there. Wouldn't mind taking a shot there. I'll actually set an alert at 62.70s, but it's up there at 63.40s here. We'll look to see if CMG keeps going. All right, guys, let's keep it going, team. What do you guys got for me today? Let's get the label right back up and let's keep trading here. Chewy, what you gonna do to me? How's the GameStop doing there? I need to take a look here. So many charts I got open here. GameStop, baby. GameStop. Up there to 25.50s, looking good on the swing trade side of things, guys. So, hey, maybe the day trade doesn't end in the green, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking at the swing account, feeling good on that one. IFN cutting there. GME now to 25.50s, looking great there. Added on that one on the swing trade side of things. Now should be in the green. Let's go take a peek at that. Choo, there we go. 25.29, looking good there on GME. Now you can start getting going. 55 shares there. Let's see if this really wants to run on the daily chart. Big level to watch, right? Big level to watch. 26.69 from the left-hand side. That's what I'll be watching for breakouts. Big breakouts above 27 is what makes me confident in GME that it's really getting going again. Tesla 205 key level. Yeah, could hit 205, maybe start to pull back. There's 201, 202. We'll see what happens on that one. AMD got up there to 163. Could pull back here, but man, nice little breakout there. Shop pulling back there on me. We'll see what happens on that one. Palantir, man, though, staying strong. This is another one that I think has some great potential on that buy. Going to continue to watch it to see if it can get a nice big run. At least I paid myself already. Going to continue to watch there. CMND, Clearmind, getting that push there. We talked about 171 being an important level. It broke right above it. Now pull back to that 167, 170 area. Seems to make sense for me on Clearmind for a push back to $2. We'll see what happens there. Of course, this is that psychedelic stock, right? Well, there's a little gap up here that it could come back to fill around the 293s, closer towards $3. So not a bad mentality to see this come back to 170 and then $3. We'll see what happens there. Affirm pulling back still a little bit. I'll see what happens on that one. Where else can I look here? Looking into the market here. Let's go to the Qs. How the Qs doing? Still starting to push there. Let's go to the sector outlook here. Overall, communications leading, technology leading to the upside. Downside, utilities, real estate, and energy. I'm going to watch to see if this can bounce back here. Valero is back towards 154, and it did in the pre-market. It was back there towards 156. A lot of times it does these washout attempts here, guys. So I'm going to take a shot here in Valero in just a second here to start seeing if this can come back, because oil is actually looking pretty good. So we'll see what happens here. 153.70 is the risk right now. It's about 40 cents here. I would like to see 154.10s or 154 show up here so that I can take this shot. We'll see what happens if this starts to bottom out here. This could be on the swing trade side of things. This could be on the day trade side of things. Let's go back to the day trade side of things, see how the Chewy's doing here and battling here. So let's go. All right, guys, just got my re-entry there on Chewy. Now I got about 100 shares. Now I got to really kind of continue to watch this to see what happens there. Valero still looks interesting for me too. So I'm looking for like about 154 entries on the first one. I'll try to go ahead and try to get that entry there, about 30 shares there, and then look for the pullback action on that. All right, let's go back to Chewy and focus in on Chewy. All right, got to put the 5-minute chart here and just really kind of understand where my max risk is going to be for the day, right? That's the important thing for me. I can risk up to about 180 on this. Now that I've added, I'm going to look at 25.60s as my out just in case this keeps coming down. Now I've established 27.38s. I'm actually liking this. Back through 28, I'll start looking for more ads, especially as we start to climb back through the opening price, 28.45. We'll see what happens in Chewy. All right, let's go back to Valero, trying to get some entry here in Valero. We'll see what happens there. Let's go towards it. The oil trade here, looking to go ahead and get some trade on here. I do have an order out there at 154.09 here. All right, let's see if I can get 154.20s here at least and start trying to build the position here. I'm really looking for 154, guys. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a dip here. Back below 154, get some ads, and then just keep trying to grind this higher. 153.90s out also here, so trying to do a little bit of a ladder approach like I've talked about in the past with Valero for entries. And that's what I feel a lot of the times is the kind of the strategy here for Valero. So I'm willing to take a shot here. Just need to see a little bit of a pullback, see if it starts to work its way back. All right, guys, let's keep going, guys. What's going on in the chat, man? Bullseye, man. You're taking over the chat, man. Come on. I'm not here to be arguing with you, my friend. If you're here to be arguing, man, you can get in the timeout corner too, my friend. I don't want to get to that point, but now you're at the point where you're just trying to argue with me in the chat. That's not going to help me focus. That's not going to help everybody else focus. We're here to trade, man. That's what we're here to do. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's get after it. We'll see what happens there. I mean, Bullseye, look up, scroll up, man. You're there battling, man. Future day trades like this. Dude, come on, man. But it's all good, guys. I'm going to get back to focusing on the trading action. There's some people that are not going to be focused on trading, man. Let's focus on the trading, Bullseye. That's what we're here for, man. All right, guys. GME with a little bit of a pullback there. Back towards the 24.88s there. So I didn't get stopped out on the swing trade side of things, but GME with a little bit of a pullback there. Trying to wash out some of the 25 buyers this morning. We'll see what happens there. Valero, still no fills there, man. I might have to just step up to the plate here and just try to get some entry here because what's happening is the spread's widening, but not giving me the entries here. So just trying to look for pullback entries, but I kind of have to wait for them, right? I can't jump on Valero a lot of the times. I just look for it to kind of come back and fill me. We'll see if I'm able to get that pullback fill. Chewy still chomping around there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Chomping around. You see it just kind of bottoming, still not really kind of making that next layer approach. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there. GovX coming up there. GovX. Of course, holding that $4 right now. Oh, here's one that was making a move as of recent. Man, what is gotten into this stock? Oh, it did a stock split this morning. I was about to say, there's no reason for this to be up there towards 20. Look at the splits, man. This thing is just splitting all around. It just took a split in May, and now it's just like, I'll do another split. Wheeler Investment, man, trying to turn things around. Core Group getting up there, 57 cents. We'll see what happens on that one. BTAI starting to show a little bit of move there. We'll look to see if that one can keep going, but not the best day there for that one. IFNN 620s. We'll see if this can recover the 630s, start to make the move. It hasn't made the move yet. Chewy getting a big hit there. We'll see what happens if I do get washed on Chewy today. It's pulling back some more, guys. What happened? Where's the kitty? Somebody call the kitty. We'll see what happens, guys. It's still got the 180 stop out there towards 25.58. We'll look to see if I do get hit. There's some sizing at 25.90s here. We'll look to see if that gets to fill and it works its way back towards the upside. Valero, still not getting me the entry in Valero. So, man, this is the tough one right here. Trying to not step up, trying to get the pullback back towards 154 and then see it start to come back, because it could bottom again at 153.70s and put a double bottom there. That's what I'm trying to see here. Let's see if it gets it to me. Not trying to jump a little bit too close and too fast, because that's easily how I just go ahead and I already got Chewy, right? Then I can get caught on this one. It could be the end of the day really quickly. So one loss is not a big deal, but the key is being patient on these entries. Just got one entry there in Valero. Could get another entry right here. Let's see if I can get it there. 153.90s. That's what I'm having out there right now. And then 153.80s for another add. Just got right now 30 shares. Trying to add up there, get towards like about 100 shares, and then I can make a good trade on this Valero. All right, let's see if I can get another little add here, and then it could be about the 80s for the add on the other action there. I have about, what, 20 shares on both of these. So we could get up there to 50, 70s, and I can still add another 30 shares here in between. All right, here's in between the spread. Just got filled some other action there. So there you guys have it. Now I have about, what, 50 shares, 153.96. So getting towards the 154 mark, which I wanted to see. Now I want to see if this starts to push to the upside. All right, guys, definitely smash the like out there. There's a lot of trading action. I want to take a look into the SPY and see where the market is going right now. Technology is doing well. Communications is doing well. Industrials are doing well. And I just got a burrito alert there. Burrito alert, guys. CMG. We'll see what happens on that one. Pulling back to the 62.70s. 62.50s for me makes sense on pullbacks. Let's take a look at Chipotle. I don't mind it, guys. I just need the 62.50s as the pullback area. I'll take 100 shares there if I'm able to grab it. 62.50s. Let's see if we were able to grab it here on the pullback. Orders out there for me. It just needs to pull back a little bit further. We'll see what happens on that one. Valero starting to come back into my favor now, back into the 154. Valero's with a nice little big spike here. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and start to add on this. Let's see if I can get some ads on pullbacks and just keep trying to take a shot here on Valero. All right, guys, just added a little bit there at 154.30s. So now I have 70 at 154.07. Still willing to add a little bit more if it comes back there towards like 153.80s. Here's a little bit of a pullback to 154. Just looking for this to kind of get back towards the VWAP, especially 154.80s recovery. That's what I want to see here. And the daily chart needs to kind of hold. It could come back here towards this 153.16. So just got to keep that in mind. That's the 9 EMA pullback look. But really, there's a couple of spikes up here into the 57s. If we take 57, go to 158 today, this is going to give me a nice return. Just got to keep it in mind and know the risk to return like always. All right, guys, let's go back to Chewy. Chewy is just kind of bottoming and still could cut me out at any moment here. Hasn't been the best here for the Roaring Kitty stock. We'll see if it starts to work its way back. What's up with AMD? Oh, AMD, man. AMD side of things looking good, man. Let's take a look here. Boom, guys, looking great. Now up there to 164. What a trade there, guys. GME, you guys see it's in the red slightly here, just kind of battling at the 25 spot right now. Palantir looking well, Shop looking well. Let's see if these recover on the day and continue to push there, but not a bad trade there in AMD starting to push to 164. All right, let's keep looking around. Let's see if I can make some other trades in the action here. I did see Skechers got up there towards close to the 70, got all the way up there to 69, now starting to reject. I'd like to see it go to 69 again and then reject later in the day. I could short that, but man, look at the rocket here. AMD, top potential trade there. Now really starting to lift off. 164, 170 close today would really make me confident that the timing was dead on. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's go to the Trump stock. How's the Trump stock doing here today? DJT has pulled back a significant amount today. We'll look to see if it starts to work its way back, but definitely one that's on the radar. Let's go back to the day trade side of things. Could have got stopped out on that Chewy. Let's take a look here. Chewy still battling there, guys. It's starting to come back there. It's bottoming around the 26. We'll see what happens today. Definitely going to take a shot in Chewy today. Just got to keep looking at it. All right, Valero back to the 154s here. So I'm looking to see if Valero can kind of bottom out here and start to work its way back to the upside. Couple bottoming actions all around this 153.30s level, right? And so you can see here on the 5-minute, right? All that action right underneath it here. I'm looking for this to end up going green to 155. All right, not looking too bad there. Just looking to add another little bit towards 154. I'm in at 154.07, so I'm looking at 154 for an add here. Just trying to size in accordingly here for Valero, and then going to look to see if it makes that swing to the upside. So this could come down towards like the 80s and then give us a little bit of a dip here. So I'm just trying to play around and laddering here, trying to add some on Valero. And I could also take a look at XLE, right? XLE is pulling back here, but I'm going to look for it to kind of turn back to the upside. It's on the pullback right now. Hourly levels, I'd look at the trend line to come into play here. So the trend line is coming into play on the pullback towards 90.80s. So maybe another little cut down and then the reversal comes in. So let's see if that cut down happens here. And then it starts to catch support right around the 90.80s. That's on XLE. XOM pulling back also, spike out the gates and then a pullback. All right, here's a pullback there for Valero now towards the 96 level. So should get a fill here towards 153.90s. We'll see if I get that fill here. See if I can get a little bit more on that fill on the downside. MU up 2%. Nice trade there, Kevin. Nice little reversal there on MU. Kind of rejecting that bottom look, right? And now starting to work its way back. 135, a big level for it. 135.82s. Could get right back above that. There, just got another ad there in Valero. Might get another ad here, guys. It is coming down a little bit towards the 70s here. I'm looking to go ahead and try to get another ad here. Let's see if I can get it. I'm at 90 shares, 154.03. So that's the big thing for me, is just keeping the risk to return in mind. I can risk about $1 at 100 shares. At about 120, I can risk about 80 cents here. So it doesn't look too bad. Just need to start seeing this kind of get that reversal. And I do have an ad here to do one more towards the 60s. And then I'd look for this really to hold 153.50s. I can start to see that turn around. If that doesn't happen, I still lower than that 100 risk. Rocket showing up there. Rocket Pharmaceuticals up there to 2010, man. What is going into this stock? Reversal back to the upside. Man, that squeezed on somebody because this was down big in the pre-market. Now starting to work its way back. MLGO, how'd that one do, guys? It got up there to 20s and now starting to fall off the cliff. We'll see what happens on this one. MLGO, will it just crush today? We'll see what happens, guys. I'd look for pops to get short, but man, I've done that twice now. This one could really hurt you. You think Chewy could be a swing? Yeah, I do think Chewy could be a swing. Anything can be a swing, guys. It's all about risk to return. How much do you want to risk? Where do you see the daily chart? Especially when I take swing trades, and majority of the times it's going to be off the daily chart. And then I also look into what's going on there. CMG giving me a fill, guys. So the pullback there, fill for the burritos here. We'll see what happens, guys. Next fill would be down towards like 62.20s. max risk 62 right now. Let's see if this can really kind of hold in here, come back towards the high 63.80s and start to push back to the upside here. Let's get our Chipotle ready. Chipotle gonna pay me today. If Chipotle pays me well, guys, I might have to order Chipotle in the middle of the stream just because I need a burrito after I got my burrito for the day. So let's see what happens today. Smash the like out there, traders. You guys enjoying the action? What's up out there, guys? What are you guys looking at? Let me know. All right, catching some comments in the chat. I see a lot of traders on Twitter right now looking around, trying to find the trade there. A lot of Chewy traders, probably like me right now, scratching their head, looking to see when Chewy's going to get hot. Right now, it's just been on the fade. Valero, not giving me that fill there on that last pullback there. Now starting to turn back towards the 154.10s. I'm feeling good about this. Just need to see this start to rip back towards the upside. And then we can have a nice little outlook back towards 156. We'll see what happens on that one as it starts to kind of bottom out here around the 154. All right, I like that look now. Now I'm looking for dips back into the 154.90s for another ad here. So I can go ahead and just look for 154.90. I have the order out there, a quick pullback fill. That's what I'm trying to do here. And you guys can see where my ads are. They're right below where I'm trying to get filled. So you see all this wick action. I'm trying to get filled down here versus up here. If I get filled up here, like even this fill, I'm not the happiest with. That was in 154.30s. That was just kind of like reaching right here. I don't want to re-reaching. I want to be trying to add off the bottom to try to better my average, not worsen my average, right? And so the big move is if it starts going to 156, then I can look for ads. But right now, it's kind of shaking and trying to make the move. You can see 154.40s. If it can get that spike, get right back up there. It's not looking too bad. We got about 100 shares, 90 shares on it now. We'll look to see get 110 if I get this fill here. All right, guys, let's keep looking. Bullseye, WHLR, 4,000 trade. Man, you're killing it, dude. Look at that thing. What is up with this thing? Did this thing hold? What is going on with this thing? Holy moly, WHLR, the stock split stock of the year, making a move today. This thing has been stock splitting all over the place. This is unadjusted. Look at this, guys. This is crazy. All right, let's go back to it. Where's my Chipotle? Get my Chipotle ready. Let's see what happens. See if this can start working its way back. 62.50s. Nice little pullback entry there for me. I like my pullback entry. Just need to start to see this get back up. All right, guys. We'll see if Chipotle starts to turn things around here. Looking around to see what else is making a move on the day. Let's go to the Qs and see the top moves of the day today. So top moves is in Walgreens Boots Alliance bouncing back. But I thought, you know, nobody could save Walgreens. That's just how it is, guys. Psychology gets so negative that it just reverses back. Marvell with a big push up today, guys. So if you're looking for a semiconductor that's hot, this is hot. Qualcomm with a big pushback. AMD with a big pushback. So there you guys have it. These are stocks to definitely keep your eyes open for. Big push there in AMD. Now to 165. You know what your boy was talking about AMD. And the top potential swing trade for me right now is that AMD. And it's doing business right now. I'm going to be mad about that. All right, guys, let's see what else is out there. Let's see if we can get this to start to turn around. And future. This is just my kind of style, right? You know, sometimes I buy the falling knives and some people don't like that trade. Hey, to each his own, right? Because it works for me on the swing trade side of things. Maybe the day trade side of things is not the best way to go at it, right? I mean, hey, you guys know how I am. I don't act like an expert. I just try to show you guys so that you guys can learn from my processed approach. For right now, Chewy seems to be hanging in there. Valero, I just got the ad of the 110 now. So now, look, 110, 154. I'm feeling okay about that because at the end of the day, that's where I wanted to be, close to this 154, giving me the ability, if it starts to work its way back on the daily chart, back towards the 160 and 164, that'd be a great gain. Pullbacks, of course, could come back to the 9 EMA. We'll see what happens on that, as Valero has broken through the trend line, but could just catch a support now and then work its way back towards the highs. All right, CMG, the Chipotle trade. Let's see if this starts to work now. All right, kind of inverse hammer candle there. I kind of like that action. I've seen now 1, 2, 3 times to try to bottom here on CMG. I'm going to let it try to test down towards the 6240s. And if it doesn't break 6240s, I can actually add on Chipotle for the move right back up here. We'll see what happens. All right, not a bad turn there. It's trying to hold the pullback there. You can see how it's spread about 7 cents here. Looking to maybe add another 100 shares on this Chipotle and really take a swing there. It's kind of balancing out, and I like the pullback. Got about, what, 3 minutes on this? Yeah. So let's give it about a minute or 2, and then I'll be looking for my ad if everything holds up. All right, I got killed doing that in the past. Hey, it's how it is, man. The key is always keeping the risk to return, right? And that's one thing that I always try to do, guys, is just keep my losses around the same, keep my wins around the same. If I can keep the mathematical in my favor, that's how I've always seen it come back, right? That's what it's about for me. But like always, you guys got to find what works for you. Here's that attempt to break down. I'm going to look for it to try to break down, but then recover. Just go green candle back to 56. So that's this attempt to break down one more time, and then just going to look for it to just come right back up there. That's why I'm not adding right now on the drop action. I'm adding for the action back. Valero trying to hold in there. We'll look to see if it gets back towards the 154. Chewy. Not doing much off this 26. Just kind of balancing the 5 minute. Trying to go lower, but hasn't broken that 2690s or 2590s. Let's see if it starts to work, or will it just kind of just keep fading all day long? Nolan, what's up out there? He made some futures action. That's what I like to see, man. That's 6K in 6 days, starting out from a 1,500 drawdown around the 1,000 each, give or take. Hey, Nolan, that's what it's about, man. Battle back, man. It looks like you had a tough day. And then, what? 6 days straight? Hey, it's good to see it, man. Keep battling out there. WBA, yeah. that thing's crazy, man. All right, CMND. We talked about that one. Will it make the move to 3? Talked about a pullback potential towards around 171. That was a little bit earlier. Did we ever get that pullback to 171? It was right around here. It was up there towards $2. Came back towards 173. So not to the VWAP of 169 and 171. It kind of got close there, but just kind of continuing to ride the 9 EMA. You can see that light blue line and how it's holding right underneath it. Futures is where it's at. Hey, Nolan, I might have to take a look into the fivers, of course. You guys know we're kind of dealing with also the fivers. I'm looking at it. What do you trade, Nolan? You do it on the prop side of things? Let me know, man. All right, CMG there, guys. There's that reversal back there. So now I'm looking into the 50s to add here, right? 56 here. I will add here for me. I'll look to see if I get that ad. I have the order out there. We'll look to see if I get the ad here. Don't want to jump up too high, right? I want to jump up on a pullback and add here, but doesn't look too bad right now as it starts to turn around off of that 6240 outlook. So just looking for pullback ads at 56. Futures, man. What's up with the futures? The NQ? That's what you like? All right, man. Oh, boo. The Apex. No. Check out the fivers, man. I got to check some futures action myself, guys. That's something that I haven't traded really, not like for more than just paper trading, but something that I can look into to maybe bring a different aspect and take a look into the futures. Maybe using that as kind of a different hedge for me. Doesn't look too bad. Here's Valero starting to turn around things, guys. So that doesn't look too bad there. I might step up to the plate in Valero and add on pullbacks, right? It has to be right around my entry, right? So below or right around my entry. I don't mind getting ads here. Let's look at 5390s for another ad there. if it does get the ad, but I'm starting to build up a nice position here in Valero. CMG just got the ad there, guys. So now I just got to go ahead and set the risk there for CMG. Now I got 200 shares, definitely giving myself the ability to take a swing here. I can hold down towards 62.30s here. Doesn't look too bad at all. I can still even add a little bit here. I think we might get a little bit of some downside approach to 62.50s, and seeing that turn around through 62.70s would be a great look here. So wick to 62.50s, back through 62.70s is what I'm looking to do. So you see there, 62.50s. I want to see a wick at the 50s. There's the wick. Now can it come back and get that nice break to the upside? 62.20s out there as my risk right now, which is about 63. I want it to be a little bit further away from the 62.38, which could act as support right now. All right, looking around, GME, not doing the best, man. Just trying to hang in there, not really kind of breaking out today. Where is the roaring kitty, my friend? Where is the roaring kitty? The kitty action. Where you at, man? All right, looking around, guys, taking a look here. AMD with the most potential, looking awesome today. There's Chipotle trying to do a little bit of a pullback action off the 62.40s back through 62.70s. I don't mind taking an ad. So we'll see if it gets back up there, and I'll take another ad here, taking a shot there on the burritos today. Will the burrito do it for me? Let's find out, guys. There's Chewy. Chewy with a takedown approach, guys. Just hit me, guys, down towards the 25.60s. I'm down about 180 off of that Chewy. And hey, take your shots, guys. That's what it's all about, man. There's one thing that's definitely for certain, is that that's all we can do in life, guys, is take some shots there. INFN giving me a little bit of a hit there. I took a big shot in Chewy there. I'm out on that one now. It could come back on the day. Doesn't mean I can't trade it again. I'm going to keep trading, team. Always showing you guys the full transparency. Let's get back to Chipotle here. Now back towards 62.50s and 60s. This is actually looking pretty decent. As it starts to bottom out, I like this candle. This can turn into a bullish engulfing candle on the 1 minute. Let's start seeing this make the move. All right, guys, coming back here to Chipotle. Looking to add on Chipotle here in just a second. I got what? 62.50s, 52s. All right, looking good. Now it starts to look a little bit better on the 5 minute. Now you got this inverse hammer candle. Don't want to see that break. Two lows at the 62.38. So that's going to be the risk for me now. I'm looking for pullback ads here. So I'm going to start putting out 55, 50s on pullbacks. Just trying to get some ads. If I can get the ads, I don't mind them here. Let's do it in 50 tranches here. So 62.55. Let's do 48 there. Another 50. 40, another 50. So I'm trying to get pullback ads here on Chipotle. All right, guys, still looking at Valero here. Valero, another position that I want to keep watching here. Now I have 130. It's pulling back here, looking for this to kind of get the next push to the upside. Definitely seeing some downside in it today, but looking for the swing right back to the upside. And this one, I can still risk a good amount here back towards the 100. That's closer towards 153.20s here. So I'm giving myself the room. We'll see what happens here on Valero. Let's go back to Chipotle. Chipotle trying to battle here, giving me some pullback fills here. Just got one pullback fill there in Chipotle. Looking for the next pullback fill here. That was off the 50. So now I got 250 off 62.50s. Looking decent in my average. Just need to see this get back above the VWAP. 62.78. All right, catching up with the chat. What's up out there, team? What are you guys looking at? DJT after the debate? Yeah, it's pretty bearish for right now. We'll look to see if it turns around. If you like Chipotle, you should check out the Kava stock. They're bullish or bearish always. Not bad, man. I've actually seen a Kava. All right, there's a quick dip there, guys. Just got some fills there in Chipotle. Now about 350 shares. So just got to continue to watch where my risk to return is. Around 62.20s is about 100. I can risk about 150. That's where my risks are usually right around, guys. So that's 62.10s. So I'm putting out right now 62.07s. That's 149 risk. Looking for this to come right back up and make a bar right back into this. If this can go red to green, that's going to be an important outlook. So right now it's on a red pullback, but looking for this candle, this 5-minute candle that's at 1020 to close by 2025 back up above, especially 62.58s. That's where we opened 57. So let's see if that can recover it here on this pullback. Just trying to wash out some traders at the 62.39s. Let's see if it comes back. DJT is down to 36 today. So definitely down big, but could bounce back here on DJT. It's near support. So now you undercut support and I look for a little bit of a rally, right? So I could hold off that low, double bottom off the 35.40s. So you can see here, down 1, up 1, down 2, up 2, down 3, up 3. So back above the 36.10s. It's a good level. I'd like to see an attempt here come down and then come right back up with some volume for a turnaround look. Nike for a good run. Nike was a good little trade there. Skechers is one that I'm looking for a fail at 70. And then I could take a swing short on this. Swing short off the 70 outlook. It could come back to the 71, but I don't think it's going to even recover 70, especially with that outlook that Nike gave. So this morning it was all the way down to 67. Looking for one more attempt to fail there. Tries to break out. Comes into this spot, fails, and then really starts to crack right back down through the 69. That's the swing outlook. Valero trying to turn things around, now turning back here. Now I want to step up here. I'm going to keep pushing here on Valero. It keeps holding this 154 spot. So as it gets tighter and tighter, I can keep trying to push here. There's accumulation for sure. Just needs to make that one quick push. All right, Chipotle with the move down here, trying to stop me out. I got to go ahead and just keep an eye on it. It's coming back here, that's for sure. Trying to stop me out here, trying to attack that 62.10 here. I got it down a little bit further towards the 62s, but that's just to keep that in mind. There's 7,000 shares there. Bigger traders trying to fill in on that 72s. I need to go a little bit further here and just be careful with it, but I can see that bigger trader trying to get me out there. Let's see if it starts to work its way back to 62.40s in quick manner here. But just watching that big order size at the 62, there's 7,000 shares there. And we're definitely getting the market maker to come back towards that 62. I'm looking on the upside of things, and I don't see too much on the upside of things. Just seeing that kind of come down towards that 62. There it is. You see it right happen there? That's a good teaching lesson, guys. You guys can see it there. On the market depth, there was 7,000 shares there. It just came back, kind of swept that, right? Now it could come back, but definitely got swept off of that, guys. I've had some rough week there in the day trading account. Down big, guys. Down big this week. You guys know how I do it, man. I'm full transparent there, guys. 396 there again, guys. It's been a tough action on the day trade side of things. Swing trade, I'm doing great. But day trade right now, it ain't looking great, guys. AMD doing great there. Shop doing awesome. Affirm doing somewhat. It's kind of battling right now, Affirm. GameStop just down a little bit here. So just going to continue to watch GameStop. Palantir definitely still doing great in that one. But man, the swing, the day trade side of things right now is being tough on me right now. So what do I got to do? I got to manage, guys. Just got to manage, keep trying, and always keeping the risk to return in mind. So Valero is going to be the last trade of the day. Just got to keep the risk to return in mind in Valero and keep getting after it. Valero could bounce me back in one trade. So just going to keep this in mind and continue to watch to see if Valero can make the move back through 155. And with that being said, doesn't mean that I can't take the swing trade side of things. So I'm going to go ahead and go focus on the swing trade side of things. And hey, it happens sometimes on the day trade side of things. And I took my shot on Chewy. We'll see later in the day if Chewy comes back. And it could, right? It definitely could. All right, let's go back here and let's take a look at the swing trade side of things. WLR is showing up again as that has opened up and it's at the 26. We'll see if it takes 30, but man, that is some risk to return on that WHR. We'll see what happens as it keeps going. Can't believe it. Took a bad trade on CMG as well. Hey, it's how it goes sometimes, future day trader. We tried to give it a shot. That's how you can do, man. There's one thing that's for certain is it looked like a nice setup. It definitely looked like a nice setup, but there was a bigger share size buyer around the 62 that I think is shaking us out, and then they might get it right back up. And this is on the hourly low, so it could be a short, it could be a buyer. That 62 is being pesky. We'll look to see if it comes back. I was thinking the same thing, future day trader, but WBA is a very first stock I followed, thinking the whole time last year it's been 100% bearish the whole time. Yeah, it's just been an ugly stock. That's just one of the stocks that just keeps coming down. But man, this is too big of a hit there, I think, in one day. So that's why you're seeing it come back to those levels. AMD, guys, 166, guys. You know, I could look at this week and view it as a negative week because of the day trading side of things. But boy, oh boy, is the swing trading side of things looking amazing. Palantir, Tesla, AMD, Shop, all working great here. Swing trade action is definitely not looking bad at all. Just got to keep swinging, man. And I've told you guys, right? I've told you guys that at the end of the day, swing trading is really my bread and butter. I keep battling in the day trading action. A lot of times I'm just slightly green in my day trading action versus swing trades where I do see those big boosts on the equities. So that's what I'm going to be jumping in more and more. I'm going to get bigger and bigger on the swing trade side of things. I'm going to keep doing the day trade side of things, but just got to try to find the strategies that can work for me on the day trade side of things. Just like you guys out there could be struggling right now. There's one thing that's certain. I'm always going to keep it 100 with you guys. So smash the like for that. Let's keep going. All right, let's see what else is out there. Do you post your swing ideas on X? Said Eldon, Rudy. No, a lot of times I'm talking about them here in the morning. The big reason, Eldon, is that on my Twitter, you guys know how it is right now. With the boys and everything, I'm just so busy, guys. It's hard for me to post so much on Twitter. I try to do my best to kind of post in between my kind of positions to give you guys the outlook. A lot of the times where you're going to see me take the swing trades are right here. I try to open them live so that you guys can see them. There's sometimes I'm taking a trade towards the end of the day. A lot of the times swing trades also are mainly dependent on the daily chart. So if the daily chart is starting to look good, that's when I'm taking my swings, because the big thing for me is how the stock is going to look after today, not intraday. So swing trading a lot for me is if the daily chart goes from especially looking like a little bit bearish to all of a sudden bullish, that really helps me get conviction that I got the right timing and the stock's going in my favor. Perfect example is AMD, right? I'm down here and the stock's going in my favor. Now I have that conviction that I have that good move and can just let the trade ride. And if I wanted to, once we get that nice little breakout, I could use an EMA, like a 9 EMA, to kind of follow the action and just stay with it as long as a 9 EMA stays below the price action. All right, let's keep going, guys. It's good to see you in the chat. Eldon, smash the like. It's good to see all you guys out there. A lot of guys tuning in on X, so definitely smash it up out there. Swing ideas on X. But one thing that I do post, Eldon, that we're posting this consistently, guys, is check out on Trade the Pool. We post the strategy playbook consistently, guys, and this has had some monster gains this year. Already, guys, some monster moves that have come off of the playbook. So you guys get that potential here. Here it is in the chat. I'm throwing it up there for you guys to kind of follow some of this action. Definitely give Trade the Pool a good follow. I want to see some follows, get a nice jump today. So check it out. If you're not following us on Trade the Pool on Twitter, well, you're probably not getting that action. And then in the Discord side of things, that's where I think you guys definitely need to also check out, guys, because in our trade watch list, that's where I give a lot of the sunrise report, guys. Check it out, team. Sunrise report, man. Check it out. You guys can see in there what's moving. Why is it moving? I put this out every day. Today's focus, of course, was PCE. Hey, guys, check out our Discord. If you're not doing it already, go ahead and take a look, guys. I can give you guys an invite if you guys want it. Let me know in the chat. Of course, Tim, if you're out there, you can throw it up there for me. But hey, check it out, guys. Discord. All right, there's AMD now to 165.90s, and that's looking crazy there. But hey, who knows? Maybe later in the day we take even a swing on some of these actions. I did take a swing on GME, right? So there's no reason why I can't take a swing on some other ones. Valero is starting to work in my favor. Got up there to 154.50s. I'm just going to continue to watch that one, guys, because it could really kind of break out towards like 155.50s. I'm just going to keep letting it work. At some point, I'll come back to it. For right now, it is starting to work in my favor, but looking for the move here. There's GME starting to get hot a little bit there. Not bad. Now starting to get in the green there on the swing trade side of things for GME. Wouldn't want this to break 25 now. So at this point, I can go ahead and just set that as my risk. So my risk tightens down, right? My risk starts to really get tightened here. I only am risking about what? $23 here for a bigger move in GameStop, where I think this can go to 27. So we'll see what happens there. It's at 25.40s, starting to push. Let's see if Chewy gets off the ground here with GME starting to make the move. ASNS is another one that I was keeping to watch on the penny stock side of things. This actually looked like an interesting chart this morning. Just got started there for a nice little pop. Now pullbacks towards like 175, 170 seem to make sense on this for a push back towards 223s. Not a bad looking chart on the daily chart either if it can get back to 250s. So we'll look to see what happens here on ASNS. Smaller penny name. All right, guys, let's keep it going. AMD is not looking too bad there. Can also get the Discord link right from the TTTP hub. Sign up, get a free demo account, get on the Discord, and get on the board today. Love that action there. Check it out, guys. Check out the Discord. Get out there. All right, there's that quick pullback on ASNS. We'll see if it takes a next step up there. Clear Mind, how's that one doing? Holding the 180 pullback. What's up with MLGO? It's coming back here. Interesting one to maybe take a little bit of a swing trade short, but man, you have to be quick. I would have to risk off the $20 there and maybe take a 17 entrance or something like that and risk about $2 on this. But you got to go light, right? I got to go like 10 shares or something like that. Let's take a look at that action. All right. 16.99. We'll look to see what happens with this one. It's not a lot of action here on the volume side of things. This could always come right back up to the 20s, so I just got to keep that in mind. If I do get after this, it has to be like 5 shares at a time, looking to like kind of get that average back towards the VWAP, because the VWAP can come in an instant back to 18. So keep that in mind. We'll see what happens on MLGO, and this one could be a swing, but for me, it'd be on the short side. Affirm still holding in that 31. I'm looking for that 31 recovery to start coming in. What's up with the action in Palantir today? Let me take a look there. It's now starting to hold the VWAP. So let's see if it can take the next leg up and keep going towards the 26 today. Nike struggling, man. Skechers, man. This has been trying to do the breakout, trying to get to the 70s. I'm just looking for the attempt to the upside to get short on this, as I do think that we could see a continued breakdown. On is up there towards 39, and this could end up breaking down eventually, especially with this Nike kind of warning. A lot of times I look for these hourly pullbacks to resistance to then get faded off. So right now, that could be the 39.33 spot. On. You can see how it went up there multiple times, now starting to fade. And maybe look for a small pop to try to get short on back down towards 37. So you could be to this 38 and then the breakdown to 38 for the continuation on the downside. But I like these outlooks here on the short side of things for these stocks to be popping on a day like today where Nike's just getting washed, man, down to 76. MLGO back there, starting to come back there. So, hey, You got to be careful with that one. 1720s, the spread widens out. We'll see what happens on there. All right, guys, a lot of action going on, guys. Got to keep taking a look at it, at least on the swing trade side of things. Doing great. Day trade side of things, not looking that great on the day, but let's see if we bounce back. There's a boost for GME. GME getting another little boost there. That's 25.50. So let's see if this really starts to make the move now that we're getting an hourly kind of push here. Big level to watch for me is 26. Once that happens, do we start to ramp? Let's see what happens there. All right, let's see if we can get one more swing trade into the green GME and then really get to some nice profits today and then hold for the swing overnight throughout the weekend. All right, WBA still coming back here. 1260s now. NVIDIA coming back. I don't trust NVIDIA whatsoever, guys. But hey, to each his own, man. For me, needs to close above 126 to see if it's coming back. It could take down 125 towards the end of the day. Not my favorite right now. I like the other big boys like Google, like Amazon, those types of names. Meta's one that I'd keep on the radar. TSM has been hot lately. That had pulled back there. Now can just start taking the next step up. Having a decent day, TSM already. How's our Qs doing? Qs are up there to the 486 spot. Continuing to push, man. MLGO now back below the 685 spot. So if I wanted to take the trade, this is where I can maybe take the shot. I don't think I'm going to take the swing on this one to the short side of things. I just don't want to ruin all the gains that I have right here, right now. The truth is that this is kind of more of that really risky position on the day trade side of things. Maybe that's how I can look at it. But for me, I'm going to stay off for right now. Let's go back to the day trade side of things. Let's go take a look how Valero's doing for me or not doing for me. Let's see here. Well, Valero's back up and doing pretty well. I'm up at least $100 and starting to let this start to work. Of course, I can take a look to see where I can take profits, but I think this can make a big move here and get me back on the day. So I'm going to keep looking to see if I can get back through the 157 look that was in yesterday's pre-market. That'd be a $400 gainer. I've talked about how I'm keeping gains in between if possible towards what I'm looking for is 150, 200 on the risk side, 400 on the plus side of things, guys. So if I can get 400 today, or maybe let's say 390s to not be kind of greedy, I don't mind that. That's 157 push. We'll look to see if Valero really keeps going. At least I'm back on the day, right? That's what I'm trying to do, is just try to get back on the day and minimize the downside. GME now getting the boost there, 2570s. There we go on GME. Now that's starting to boost. Now that's looking good for the swing trade. And in a little bit, I'll be up close to probably about $1. And once I'm up $1, I can take some of that off and just play with the house's money. Who wants to play with the house's money? That's what it's all about, man. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. You guys are quiet on me. Wake up out there, guys. Wake up. What do you guys want to trade today? Let's get to it. Logo bounce like always. Check it out, guys. Trade the pool. You guys can be doing this also on the swing trade side of things also. If you haven't checked out our swing trade accounts, check it out, guys. I'm enjoying the swing trade things, man. That's why I was talking about it with Michael yesterday. This is really what I wanted to see happen for Trade the Pool, because this is where I find my bread and butter, man. GME now 2560s. Let's see if this can just push to 26. No pullbacks. It's kind of what I'm seeing here for me. I don't want to even see pullbacks. I want to see just expansion bars just start to push, push, push. QSI showing up there. QuantumScape. Man, this thing's still around. Quantum Sci Incorporate. This isn't QuantumScape. That was QS back in the day. This is QSI. Desktop Metals. I was taking a look to see if this thing was going to move today. This thing is not moving at all. Dell down on the day. GME up. Para up. Looking around to see what else is making a move there. INFN. That thing never got going here, guys, but it is just stationary. Holy moly, is it getting some volume on the pullbacks, but not really breaking to the upside or the downside. There's some volume that's come in here on certain times where it's gotten like what, 1.4 million in 1 minute. So there is someone there that wants in or out of INFN. So just keeping that in mind, right? That looks like to me dark pull action. DXYN, is that what this one is? Oh, DXYZ. Destiny Tech 100 ETF. Has DXNY and has UFI in it. Don't know this one at all, guys, but hey, it's moving. All right, let's keep going, guys. What else is going on in the market? Like always, guys, we got to continue to watch. But man, did you guys catch the debate last night? Let's see if this gets people going. What did you guys think won the debate last night? Who won it? Who won it? I'll tell you. There's probably nobody that was watching it, man, because that's the truth. I know I didn't watch it because the truth is, I mean, what are they really going to give me? Not much, man. They're just talking. And a lot of times these debates, what do? They bring just kind of BS. Let's just be honest. All right, guys, it's 3620 kind of holding in here for Trump media. I've been seeing this kind of hold in. So this 36 seems to be like a good level where you're starting to see maybe a little turnaround on this DJT. We'll see if it does turn around or not. Let's go to some strong stocks in the SPY. Overall, what are some big names? Of course, we've talked about WBA. You got a financial stock doing pretty well today. SYF, Comerica. So it looks like some regional bank action actually getting a little bit of a lift today. You can see it in RF also. So that's not a bad one. Uber having a pretty decent day today. FedEx, a nice little push past 300. We talked about if FedEx is moving, UPS might be the move. UPS has been doing pretty decent since that FedEx report. Now is holding in. Let's see if it can actually make a move today and go back towards the 137. Not a bad one to keep on watch there with FedEx making a decent move today. Then I see JB Hunt up today. That's, of course, their shipping stocks. UPS showing up there. So definitely something to keep a watch on with some of these stocks. And then now let's take a look at like Pan W. How's that one doing today? Pullback off of that one. I know Snow is one that we've been talking about here. That's actually done decent. It pulled back and continued to trend back towards 135. We'll look to see if that holds on the day. Valero with a little bit of a pullback. We'll look to see if it holds the VWAP and makes a move up. XOM has kind of just gone sideways here. Really hasn't really gotten the bounce there. XLE did bounce off of near that 90-80 spot. So I'm looking to see if XLE can come back towards the VWAP. That's a good sign there for oil to come back. Let's go to the sectors and industries. Let's do a little sector and industry analysis here. A lot of times I do this on the weekends, guys. And what am I looking at? I start looking at weekly candles on a day like today, a Friday, right? Friday is the close of the weekly candles. So I'm looking to see what happens with these. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see right here. I'm going to make the screen bigger so you guys can kind of follow in to see what's going on in the different sectors. Financial services, really hot after what? After the daily like kind of bounce off the trend line that we looked at. And man, since that day, it's been pretty good. This is right here. We drew this on the 17th. That was right here on this day when it reversed, and it's been strong since then. So keeping in mind that the banks are not looking too bad. Let's go to the weekly chart on the communication services. This has been coming back. Of course, you're talking more your Comcast, your T-Mobile falls into this, and look at T-Mobile go. Look at the daily chart holding there for T-Mobile. What a move T-Mobile has been in. Is AT&T still struggling? No, it's turned it around right back to the upside now, almost breaking to the 19. So this is how communication services can make a move, and you're not even paying attention to it. Like Verizon. Verizon's looking like it's starting to get strong, starting to go back to 42. Doesn't look too bad at all today. Real estate here. Real estate is something definitely to take a look at here. We'll see if this starts to push. It is setting up here for a move. Look at the weekly. The weekly is right there. So it just needs to kind of get the nice little push to go higher. American Tower is one that I've been watching for a while now, guys. So back through 200. This is one that I can take a look at. Lennar, how's that one doing? Maybe Toll Brothers in the real estate. Not doing the best there. Let's take a look at the high cap names. PLD is one that it's a REIT that's trying to come back here. Could we fill the gap here? Did we fill the gap? Yeah, we filled it once. Let's see if this can really start working its way back to the upside. EQIX, one that we can kind of keep watch to see if it starts to bounce. Has its gap zone. When tried to get in it, now can start shaking, getting right back to the upside. Public storage. I don't know about this one. I don't know how many people are using the storages. I'd have to take a look. A lot of times I can take a look at maybe some Google trend data. Like Planet Fitness is one that is setting up there. And I'm keeping an eye out for it today to see if it starts to make a move to 74. This is not a bad one, as I saw a lot of names mentioned, and I did my research into Google trend data, and I can see there that a lot of people are searching for Planet Fitness memberships in summertime. That's also a time where it gets hot. Right before January is a time that it gets hot also. Look at November to January here. Big push. We'll look to see if we get another move in Planet Fitness. All right, debate was hilarious. Beware those debate drinking games, though. Yeah, they'll get you wrecked. And I don't know if it was hilarious, but it's just hilarious about that those are the two candidates that we have, man, because it just shows me, man, this is the reason why I'm not in politics, man, because boy, oh boy, I don't even know how we deal with that crap. That's like the tabloids, man. You might as well just watch TMZ. And by no means necessary am I watching TMZ. NYCB, guys, the regional bank's doing really good. You can take a look at the XRT for a strategy on this. Retail trade here, trying to hold in here. We'll look to see if it goes back to the upside. But you guys can see that that's definitely holding in. Costco actually pushing to the upside. I've talked about how I was keeping an eye to see what happened with Costco today. It's holding a 9 right now. Let me take a look at Walmart. Walmart's actually down slightly. I'm looking to see if these trades are going to start to turn a little bit here. Walmart's actually struggling today. It doesn't look bad for maybe a little bit further breakdown on the day. It's actually not looking too bad. It's actually fading away. Kind of gave that inverse head and shoulders here. Does have a neckline that we could approach and start to break. But man, Walmart's struggling a little bit. This actually doesn't look too bad here for the short side of things. Would mean maybe a little bounce there for the swing. I could swing it off the 68 right now for the short side. Actually, that's the way I'm going to look at it, guys. Let's go to the swing trade side of things. Let's go for a short on Walmart here. Wally World. Trying to short Wally World, guys. All right, Walmart. Let's go ahead. Let's do it here. Let's go. I'm going to start with a starter at 20 shares, and I'm going to look to add another 20 shares back closer towards 68, so I can risk off 69. So that's what I'm going to start doing here. Let's go ahead. Starter is on there. Just clicked it there. 67.80s. The fun part of the, of course, trade the pool. One of the advantages is the market order there. I just hit it to just get in, right? So now I got the entrance there, about 20 shares, looking for a push back here towards the 68s, and then I can risk off the 69s. Really want to see this breakdown back through 67.60s on the day and to start working its way back to 67. That'd be the good outlook there for kind of Walmart to break down, get out of this channel, and start the breakdown session, right? So I'll look to see if we get that cut down back towards 67s and 66. We'll see what happens there in Walmart. T-Mobile looking good for the short. See what happens on that. That's not a bad plan, at least. At least you have the planned attack, Eldon. You got to look at those, and that's very important. Healthcare actually doing really well, guys. This is the area that hasn't stopped and continued to push. Look at the weekly. Yes, you've had a couple weeks pullback, but now strong look. Eli Lilly continuing, now 914. Still mad about the 330 buy in Eli Lilly. Oh, man. I'm still kicking myself on that 330 buy, man. This stock could have been one of my best stocks ever in the portfolio. This is the one that you kind of don't sell. It goes up so much, you just don't sell. But we'll see what happens on that one. Eli Lilly, what a monster move, man. Johnson & Johnson trying to prop there. Not much there. Merck trying to hold on. I don't see too much on that one. AZN actually looking a little bit better than I expected. NVAX was one that I was looking to see if it was going to catch some love again. It's right off the 9 EMA, so it has the potential to get some love, but really the volume has just died off there. HIMS, of course, has been one in the space that was getting the move because of the health loss. And then, of course, NVO is one to kind of keep an eye out for. We'll see if this one can keep going. There's a lot out there in healthcare, but keep your eyes, guys. Healthcare plans trying to prop a little bit here. Let me see on the industry, at least for the week, what has been doing well, guys. So that's the fun part of having different services, right? I can take a look there to see what's been doing well for the week. Let's take a look here. Change for the week. What area has been doing well? Well, definitely medical instruments has been doing well. We talked about that one. Look at Intuit Surgical. Man, hot. Medical instruments and supplies is hot. Healthcare plans, actually not looking too bad here. So I'd keep an eye on that. That's Alliance Health. It's one that I kind of keep a watch on. That's actually done pretty well. It's back towards the 550s. And then let's see here, the drug manufacturers, of course, your big boys, actually doing pretty decent. Let's look for the week, how that's done. Eli Lilly leading there, but you got also some smaller names here. SCLX, not doing too bad there. Biogen doing really well. BIB, look at that, 234, and really starting to create that inverse head and shoulders look. This kind of looks like Tesla. This kind of looks like Tesla right here, guys. So it still hasn't broken that top line here that I think is very important to look for now, is that break back through that level. I can definitely see the left-hand shoulder right around here. And then you can see the right-hand shoulder. You got this attempt here. I wouldn't call that the shoulder. I'd call this the shoulder right now. And then I'd call this the head. That's the pattern that I see there. So for me, I wouldn't want it to break back through that level back here on the downside. So that's the downside alert for me. So I'm just drawing out the trade here to understand where I could maybe come after Biogen. But still looks really good right now as it's starting to rip off that 220, looking for a 240 breakout back towards the 250. We'll see what happens here on Biogen. And nice pullback day and then continuing the strength. All right, guys, good platform, could be better and attract many talented traders with some trading view integration. I don't think so, Larry. I don't like trading view personally. I've tried to use it, guys, in the past, Larry, but hey, if you like it, man, hey, so be it, man. That's one thing that I'd say. What does trading view, I would say, I'd ask, what does trading view have that this one doesn't? And that's what some things that I'd ask, right? Walmart actually doing decent right there. We'll see what happens. Look at that, guys. First downside action in Walmart coming in here. Not looking too bad. Can always add back to 68 and could add the shares. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll take a starter in my swings and I'm looking for the add spot. If it comes back on me, I'm adding and taking my swing and always keeping the risk to return in mind. Affirm starting to get a little lift, so that's not making me feel too bad. GME, though, trying to get to that 26, got to 26.07, pulled back fast. Let's see if it takes 26 again and really gets going. 27 on that break would be a really interesting look as it starts to break to the upside. All right, it's 10:54, guys. Start to wrap up the week, guys. Like always, guys, it's going to be a battle. It's never going to be one way. You guys see it here. The swing trade side of things looking great. Now, the day trade side of things, let's go looking at that. Let's see how we're doing here. Not doing great on the day, that's for sure. Valero trying to work its way back here. That at least doing pretty decent, but it was a tough day here. As you guys can see, down 396. I'll look to see if I bounce back with Valero, right? But Chewy really taking me majority of that hit. And then Chipotle catching me on that pullback. Big buyer coming in and just stomping me out. And you guys can see how Chipotle came back right off of those levels, right? The 62 right around here, the 61, 60s, there was some big buying going on. I'll look for recovery back to 63. We'll see what happens there in Chipotle. So don't get no burritos for me today, no guac, no side for me, no salad dressing, a bunch of acidity, but hey, I'll just keep going, team. Do you use level 2 in trading? Finally, someone out of the woodworks asking me a great question. Yeah, man, I show this all the time. I don't have it on the screen because there's only a certain amount of screen that I can show guys. And I like to give you guys some scanners so that you guys can see things that are moving fast. But I always am using right here the market depth given to me by the trading platform right there on Trade the Pool. You guys can check that out. That's what I'm always checking out here. You guys can also pay for different datas to get more access to market depth. You guys could do like the total book of ARCA. You can do NASDAQ. You can reach out to just the exchanges and get the data, right? You have to have different platforms that will give you that. But I'll tell you right now, there's always ways to get more data. You just have to pay to play, baby. So right now you're getting some free action there. But like always, you guys can definitely take a look at it and see what you guys like. But for sure, it's something that I always look at. NASDAQ total view. Yes, those are the type of things that you want access to. When I used to especially scalp, that was a number one thing I wanted. I wanted NASDAQ total view. I wanted the ARCA book. I liked ARCA to put in direct routes, but that's if I'm doing that type of trading, right? There's always stuff out there. What about Alpaca or TraderVate integration for those who use algos? Not bad. I mean, if you're using algos, power to you. There's plenty of other ways to use algos, right? You don't have to use TraderView or TraderVate or Alpaca for those. There's different ways of doing it. There's nothing wrong if you're using an algorithm. Majority of the volume flowing through nowadays is algorithmic volume. Why are people using algorithms, right? It's because they want their execution to be exactly how they set the strategy and not give themselves the subjectiveness that usually comes with actually being that person that's taking the execution, right? So you got to find what's best for you. But Larry, not bad questions, man. And I love having conversations, man. There's one thing that's for certain. It's not one way. It's not just, oh, no, you can't use TraderView. No, it can definitely work for you. I've seen plenty of traders do great on TradingView. You just got to find what you like, really, what matches your personality. Look at Chipotle coming back here. We'll see what happens on this one. If it starts to work back and starts to get a nice little grind higher, of course, this is one that I'd be looking at for long-term also, but I need pullbacks on the monthly back to like 40 for long-term attempts because Chipotle has been an amazing stock to have long-term. Now the question is, where do I get it if it gives me the opportunity? We'll see what happens. Amazon was one of those below 100 that I always will look back and say the same thing. These are the types of opportunities that when it comes back, it was a great opportunity to get Amazon below 100. You could already be selling a portion of this to get the house's money. At 200, you have 100% gain. You could take half of it off. And then from that point, have just gotten free money to see where Amazon goes in life. Hey, we'll see what happens. I have a trader trading friend that does that exact thing. So he'll take a position. He's looking to get up 100%. He's looking to take half of it off. And at that point, he owns these stocks. That's the way he views it and just keeps it. Keeps the position because at that point, he's made the gain to go ahead and take that kind of approach. But hey, one of the stocks that he has is DraftKings, but down to $10 in that $11 range, $10 range. He has it down there and he already sold half of it on the move up. And now it's just hanging out in DraftKings. Things like this are something to keep watch. Penn coming back. That's one thing that I take a look at, guys. This stock has been sneaking up there. So we'll see what happens on Penn. It definitely mentions out there of ESPN bets and different ones out there that they're taking a look at. I don't believe too much in it, but hey, I do see it. Nike down big, 76 now. Skechers, what's going to happen, man? Are you going to make that move? You're going to try to break out or not? I tried. It's trying. It's failing. I'll tell you one thing. I want to short the Skechers. I want to short Skechers, man. We'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see if I can get this pop right back towards this like 69 70s, almost the 70 outlook. That's what I'm looking for a nice little takedown attempt. So you came up here before in the kind of the pre and the first opening drive is 69.75. I want to see it come back to that layer and then looking for that takedown right back down towards the 66. That's a short for Skechers. You use the SPY and Qs for your reference. Of course. I mean, a lot of the times I'm looking but more just to kind of state here, not necessarily only the SPY and the Qs. The SPY and the Qs will help. But what I look for more is the sector and the industry, right? So like technology and knowing that today or for the week, software application has been hot. I want to know that because there is how many stocks in software application have had a great day or a great week, right? If I take a look here at the RSI, I put it up towards the top. I look at Datadog up 10%, right? That can give me insight. Now, ServiceNow, look at the turnaround in these stocks. The strong has stayed strong. And in this market, that's something to kind of keep a lookout for. Autodesk coming back, right? There's a lot of these starting to grind higher. And a lot of these are software names that are starting to push back. CRM is one of those starting to come back, right? So I want to catch not only SPY and Qs, but also the sectors and the industries that are doing well. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys appreciated it. I did the trader recap there just as I was going in and out there, guys. I'm going to continue to try to battle back in Valero. You guys see me. I'm up on this one. Going to try to get this one to get back there towards that 157 spot. If it does get back to that 157 spot, I will take this off. But I also could look at a swing trade side of things on the XLE. So the XLE has just recovered 91. So if I'm feeling that energy is going to make a move back through this trend line and not come back to these levels, right? Not come back towards this kind of inverse head and shoulders off to the kind of the short time frame of things, which is the 90. So I can get in here around 91.30s or 91 and risk towards 90. Not a bad approach. Let's go to the swing trade side of things and take another trade. If I got enough buying power, I'll take the shot here. All right, GME is starting to come back on me a little bit in the swing trade side of things. I want to show you guys this before I get out of here. So let's go ahead. Let's go back to the swing trade side of things. Let me bring up the positions here so you guys can see it. Positions are all doing well there. GME is pulling back a little bit here. I thought this would rocket out a little bit more, so I'm going to tighten down, right? I don't want to see GME break 25. Breaking 25 would get me out. Right now, I have a stop about $23 on that GME. It is in the green. And a lot of times if I can get up green, like let's say one of these positions, AMD and SHOP, a lot of times what I will do is I'll get to the point where I can't lose on the position. That's my rule. We'll see if I can get up there back towards the 26. If I do, at that point, I'm going to raise the stop back at break even for GameStop. All right, let's do this XLE long here. I'm just going to do a starter here. I'm looking to add to this back at 91. But I don't mind taking a little trade here. Let me see if I can get 20 shares and add to it. Boom. There you guys see it. Take the entry. I'm taking shots there, guys. 7 trades on in the swing trade account, giving you guys the access to exactly how I'm going about it. Why am I going about it? Showing you guys WTI, going through the sector industry analysis. Please show me, guys, that you guys appreciate it by hitting that like button, hitting the share down below, and letting everybody know where else is this transparency in the financial live trading space. You ain't going to find it, team. That's one thing for certain. I'll see you guys back, of course, back in on Monday as we keep pushing to the next level and look for some new upgrades potentially coming to you on Monday. Hey, you guys know Money Mitch, always bringing something up his alley. I'm going to keep expanding, showing you guys different trades, how I come about it, and of course, showing you guys the battle of the journey of being a trader. There's going to be ups and downs. This week is a red week, so let's turn it around. Let's show it what it really is. It's a red week, guys, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to keep battling. I'm determined to have a green week next week. The swing trade side of things, though, isn't looking too bad. That's more in the green. We're looking good in the swing trade side of things, but that's the market, right? There's 2 sides of the market. You guys choose which side you're on and keep getting after it, trader. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Definitely hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you're on X, please come over to the YouTube side of things as we do the watch list every single morning at 8:30. Would love to see you guys that are tuning in on Twitter. We'll see you next time, team.